252-3782.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, I get my mic on. Good morning, everyone. How are you? How are you? If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe. And everybody else, like the video, if you don't mind. And I did put, I pinned in the chat a link to my Patreon page. So if you want to support my content, that's very nice. Support my channel here, my podcast, everything else. My Patreon supporter link I just pinned to the top of the chat this morning. Going to start talking about this new Ashli Babbitt report came out, which is just tragic. Is what I'm going to start with.
And use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
I always feel like when I have my MAGA hat on, I always feel like a little wiser, like I'm channeling, the wisdom of Trump. Do you know what I mean? Here we go.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE.
Excuse me.
1. And now, here's Steve
Forgot
Kane.
my water. Hey, guys. Yes. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Welcome all to the program. If you're new here, you're going to love this show, I promise you. If you love Trump, you're going to love us. And if you don't love Trump, you will if you listen long enough. We'll get you over that Trump derangement syndrome. In fact, we're basically the cure for Trump derangement syndrome on this program, and there are so many people that are suffering. Do you know what the number one treatment for Trump derangement syndrome is? What do you think it is? The number one treatment in the world, it's showing to be very effective in America, but the number one treatment for Trump derangement syndrome is the Biden presidency, right? I mean, you see these polls, and he's just losing support everywhere, and people are like, whoa, what's going on? What do you mean I can't get my Christmas gift? Yeah, so believe it or not, that's true. Joe Biden is the leading number one cure for Trump derangement syndrome, waking up a lot of people. Well, listen, there's a lot to get into today. We're going to get into a lot of issues, a lot of topics. We're going to take your calls, and it's always a toll-free call at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. But I want to start talking about this. There's some new documents have been released on the shooting of Ashli Babbitt. And I want to read, there's a lot of reporting on this. I want to read through an article, and we'll talk about it as we go in trending politics. But I got to tell you, an unarmed woman was shot dead. An unarmed woman shot dead. And I must say, where's Black Lives Matter? There's a lot of groups out there that tell us that their whole mission purpose is to hold police accountable when they do something wrong, when they use unnecessary force. And the Ashli Babbitt case is a textbook example of what Black Lives Matter claim to stand up against. So, BLM should be out there at the front of the line seeking justice in the death of Ashli Babbitt. But let me read through this story, and then we'll talk about it as we move on. But internal Capitol Police documents on Ashli Babbitt's shooting have been released, and Judicial Watch is all over this. Listen to this. Internal Capitol Police documents were obtained and released by legal watchdog Judicial Watch. The nearly 500 pages of interviews of witnesses and investigators of the Ashli Babbitt shooting reveal, quote, these are in the documents, no good reason for shooting. That is according to Tom Fenton, who's the president of Judicial Watch. These previously secret records show that there was no good reason to shoot and kill Ashli Babbitt, Fenton said. The Biden-Garland Justice Department and the Pelosi Congress have much to answer for the mishandling and cover-up of this scandalous killing of an American citizen by the U.S. Capitol Police. And let's not forget, veteran of the United States military, Air Force, right? The Capitol Police reports directly to the Congress and is not typically liable to Freedom of Information request. Judicial Watch obtained the documents via a lawsuit filed in May. The internal police documents are littered with redactions as well as entire pages withdrawn from the public record, which is, come on, what about the documents of this incident should be redacted? That's a cover-up. That's not classified information. Ashli Babbitt's shooter, Capitol Police Lieutenant Michael Byrd, is named openly throughout the documents. And this is from the document. Listen to this. On Wednesday, January 6th, 2021, Lieutenant Michael Byrd of the United States Capitol Police was assigned as the House Chamber Commander during the day work tour of duty. At approximately 14:46 hours, while providing protection to the House chambers during a riotous act, Lieutenant Byrd discharged his service pistol and struck Subject I in the chest. That would be Ashli Babbitt, the report says. Lieutenant Byrd's issued service pistol was initially secured by members of the United States Capitol Police. Internal Affairs Division, however, the service pistol was ultimately taken as evidence by the Department of Forensic Sciences. This officer-involved shooting is being investigated and is assigned to redacted. A lot of redactions here. While the Capitol Police officer was shielded from prosecution by the Biden Department of Justice, which announced that it will not be pursuing a grand jury indictment, the witness testimony shows that Lieutenant Byrd was visibly shaken after discharging his weapon at the unarmed Ashli Babbitt. The autopsy shows that Ashli Babbitt was killed due to a homicide by being shot in the left anterior shoulder. Lieutenant Byrd, who was named as the House Chamber Commander, was issued a garrity warning and opted to consult an attorney before making a statement. An unnamed Capitol Police sergeant who witnessed the shooting said that he did not see anything in the female protester's hands prior to the gunshot, adding that Lieutenant Byrd looked upset and confessed, "I was the one who took the shot." The sergeant also described struggling to be able to figure out what had happened and why Byrd took the shot. And the sergeant said this Capitol Police sergeant said this, quote, "So I don't know if something happened to him where it caused him to take the shot or not." A witness said that Lieutenant Byrd was nervous, teary-eyed, and appeared very upset. The witness was standing behind Lieutenant Byrd when the shooting took place and describes hearing what took place. He said he told the protesters and Babbitt to back up. The witnesses also say she appeared to be unarmed. It is important to note that there are entire pages blacked out and redacted regarding sensitive matters. There are mentions of officers discussing that they would use less lethal force against the protesters, which is a matter that throws into question whether Lieutenant Byrd used appropriate judgment when deciding to shoot and kill Ashli Babbitt. And they have the full record here. In August, Byrd was formally exonerated by the internal Capitol Police probe. The Justice of Department announced in April that no charges were going to be brought against the officer. A memo from the commander of the Capitol Police's Office of Personal Responsibility says no further action will be taken. Okay. You know, unfortunately, I've seen the video more than once, the Ashli Babbitt video, and anytime it's on television or I see it online, I always stop it because I don't want to watch it again. I don't want to see that again. To me, it looked like Byrd panicked. It really did look like Byrd panicked. And, you know, the Capitol Police, if any of you have ever been a tourist to D.C., the Capitol Police basically are museum guards. You know, they're guys that really don't have ever much to do, poorly trained. Many of them probably shouldn't even be in that position. And when we saw that committee hearing a few weeks back, they all look like they just toed the party line of, the Democrats, because I don't know if it's because they're liberal or because the Democrats run the House of Representatives right now, and they're under the control of Nancy Pelosi. But to me, it looked like he panicked. It looked like, and from what the witnesses say, including this unnamed Capitol Police sergeant, that he had a lot of regret for what he did. So that tells me that he believed what he did was wrong. If, I've never been in one of these situations, and God willing, I never will be. But I have talked to people. I'm not going to give any details or anything, but I have talked to people who have had to use deadly force to save themselves. And what I haven't heard from them is regret because it was them or me situations. So this is a different type of reaction that I would expect from someone who thought that they were in danger at that level to use deadly force against an unarmed person. If you were in your home and you used force against an unarmed intruder, you would be up against it. The stand your ground defense, here in Florida, became a big deal during the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman thing. A lot of people were talking about it. You have to actually be in danger of losing your life to defend yourself with that level of force. If you're not, and you do, and they show you're not, you're going away. This is really a tragedy. It really, truly is a tragedy that an unarmed woman like this, who's a veteran and everything else, was shot dead. It doesn't mean that she should have been there or had the right to be there, or the way she was carrying on in there was appropriate, because she should not have been in there. No one should have been in there. And going through the window of the doorway is not right either. I don't approve of any of that. I don't want anyone to misunderstand what I'm saying here. I'm just saying this, that everyone that went into the Capitol breach was unarmed. Everyone. And if this was what they claim it was, all that on the left and in the mainstream media, it doesn't make sense. No one was armed. And here we are, 10 months later, and no one charged with insurrection in the entire incident. So this is a tragic case, and the Ashli Babbitt lieutenant he won't face justice. He'll be retired out before he does anything else. Anything else happens. But it's something that we should talk about. And I was talking yesterday about the police at the school board meetings towards the end of the show, talking about how police, these incidents, this I was talking about on yesterday's show about that one father who was arrested at the Loudoun County school board meeting. His daughter, and his high school teenage daughter, was raped by a boy wearing a dress and he went into the girls' room because they have that, you know what they have. And not only was he arrested, he was really beaten up by the police. He was, 4 or 5 officers jumped him. He was bloody. His clothes were ripped. It was terrible, terrible. I was talking about this yesterday, about how at these school board meetings, Merrick Garland is saying that these parents are threatening to the school board members and that they're domestic terrorists, et cetera, et cetera. We know what that's about, right? That critical race theory company that his family have a big ownership stake in and co-founded. But I was talking yesterday, the violence at the school board meetings on television is not started by the parents. I have not seen a single incident where the violence was started by the parents. Seems to me it was started, in every instance I've seen in the school boards, the violence started by the police. And I am very pro-police, as most conservatives are. But there are certain situations where there are certain police officers that are not good guys. this Lieutenant Byrd at the Capitol Police, he had a problem once. Isn't he the one who left his revolver in the men's room once? My goodness, loaded revolver in the Capitol of the United States. That's crazy. He should have been fired on the spot for that. But, you know, you can speculate on why that happens. I have my own idea why he still had his job. He wasn't even demoted. Lieutenant, senior guy? Come on, leaving his pistol in the men's room at the U.S. Capitol? That's insane. And these cops at school boards, maybe it's a certain type of officer gets certain type of police jobs. Maybe the police officers who find themselves assigned to these school board details are a different kind of cop. I don't know. And same at the Capitol. Maybe they're more political than they are police. I don't know what it is. But the force that's being talked about so much involving parents and conservative people, if you find most of the force is coming from the officers in this situation, the school board cops in Virginia and the Capitol Police on the day of the breach. And I'd really like to hear your thoughts on all of this, the Ashli Babbitt police as well as the police at the school board. Our number is toll-free 1-888-GO Kane 1 888-465-2631 888-465-2631. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We're going to take a break and be back with your calls, and I got a lot more to talk about, so do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack, what's up?
I just wanted to say
Steve Kane Show.
I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes
Hold
for
on.
my car.
Yep, what's your name? Okay, hold on, Ross. You'll be first. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Come on to Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy I had gone to previously wanted $800. He said, well, you need to take your power steering fluid, and Ed, the owner, put the car up in the lift, pulled the wheels, because you don't need brakes. And I about fell over.
Wow, well, tell me the end of the story. You got me hooked.
So it wasn't that your vehicle was misdiagnosed at the other place. You were dealing with a crook.
Oh, absolutely. This guy wanted to sell me everything but a washing machine. I don't want that.
Now, this is our new sponsor. We have wanted for a long time to have an auto repair shop. When it comes to auto repair, that is the most difficult category for us to find as an advertiser because most... Hey, guys, good morning. Just reading over some articles I'll be talking about as the show goes on. We found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, is a listener of the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in. I forgot my water. Well, I have to go to the cooler in a next break. I left my water in the car. Is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, Champagne Automotive Repair. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. And you heard the story there, the guy with the brakes. My goodness. And Steve had an incident. His son Tyler, his car needed some work, and Steve had his son take his car just to get an estimate at one of those big name places that you all know. And, you know, when you go to these places, you're dealing with a salesman, not a mechanic. And they looked over the car, came back, and gave him a printout, Steve's son, of what they told him the car needed done so far as repairs and maintenance. And then Steve had him take his car up to Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca and have them check the car bumper to bumper. Didn't show them the list or anything, or even tell them about it, that the other place gave them. And found out that the other place told Steve's son, that Champagne Automotive, this is amazing. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. Listen to this. Champagne Automotive Repair told Steve's son that the other place told him he needed $843.12 in work that was not needed on the car. Can you believe that? $843.12 worth of maintenance and repairs that were not needed. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Of course, I take my family's cars there. Steve takes his family cars there. And I know you guys do too, because pretty much anytime Steve or I show up at Champaign Automotive, we always run into a listener. And we have listeners that drive more than an hour each way, because finding an honest auto mechanic is, before Champaign Automotive came along, I didn't think that existed in South Florida. And their prices are incredibly good, right out of the 80s and 90s over there. Here's their number. Call them, and they'll give you directions. If you have any questions, this is Champaign Automotive, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yes, Steve?
Brian, but that's okay. I've been called worse.
So I'm listening to your program, and I listen every morning. I think you do a great job. One of the things I noticed in what you're saying, and I want to put the question out to you, there was no presentation of a weapon. It seems like that officer could be charged with murder, and I'm wondering if the Biden administration leaves and the next President Trump or whomever, if this could be reopened and not...
Well, I don't know. I would say, now don't hang up and listen for the answer. That's not how we roll here. We like to have conversations. Oh, he already hung up. Oh, no, you're still there. You're still there. No. Well, there's certainly no statute of limitation on murder. I would say, I'm not a lawyer. I would call that probably manslaughter. I don't think he intended to kill. I think he was panicked and scared. I saw the guy in the hearing. He's a humongous man, and he's just not qualified to be in that kind of position. The Capitol Police are basically the kind of guards you see at banks, and nothing against bank guards, and museums, because you can see there's very inexperienced, very much above their pay grade, promoted to lieutenant for reasons certainly not based on competence, because this is the guy that left his pistol in the men's room at the Capitol once, and he should have been fired for that. Yet they kept him around, and he's a lieutenant. I don't know if he was a lieutenant when he did it and got promoted after. He remained a lieutenant. I would say he panicked under the situation, and did what he did because he was scared. So if what you're asking is the next Attorney General with Trump in 2024, certainly they could review it. Certainly they could review it, and I would expect that when President Trump is officially running for re-election, which will be after the midterms, this will probably be a big campaign issue. He brings up Ashli Babbitt in every rally. He rarely does an event where he doesn't mention her. So I think this will be a big campaign issue, and I would be shocked if when President Trump comes back in 24, that he does not have somebody look into it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. I just also wanted to call and saying I really appreciate what you do. You're one of my main sources of news.
Wow.
I used to watch Fox and CNN. I watch both for a diversified scope, but I really do turn you on at 6 a.m. every morning, and because you do a very good job with your brevity, but you're to the point, the conciseness, and the way you do.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, where do you watch on YouTube or listen online, the radio?
I watch on YouTube on my phone, I'm in Indiana, and good conservative radio, but it's just all of it's just not very good anymore.
No, this is the Steve Kane Show is not the longest running radio show in Florida for no reason. That's for sure. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Indiana. Take care. All right. Yeah, it's nice. I remember once, a long time ago, I got hired for a job I turned down, which was a very wise decision because I wouldn't be here today. But I got hired to work on the air at an FM talk station in Orlando many years ago, and they were going to hire me to actually do weekends, and I was pretty excited about it because it was FM talk radio. I was like really excited. It was a long time ago, and the program director, he interviewed me. He's like, "What is like your dream to do in radio. What would you like if you could do? What was like your big dream? Which kind of caught me off guard, but I told him, I said, I'd like to be able to go to the phones and like Larry King, Indiana, you're on the air, right? Wisconsin, you're on the air. And now, in the last few years, the Steve Kane Show, we have really grown a very large national audience, and through all different kinds of means. And international as well, and it's pretty cool. Going to Australia, you're on the air. New York, California, it's really cool. It's like a dream come true for me. That's a really cool thing. And those of you that listen and call us from not just in South Florida but around the country, that's really good, because what he said, the guy from Indiana, what he said that I really like is he said, we got a lot of talk radio up here in Indiana, but it's really not that good. Well, the Steve Kane Show is the best, if I say so myself, and everything I do, I learn from Steve, and Steve learned from Joe Pine, as he talks about all the time, so I really do appreciate that. I want to say something on a personal note before I get back into the issues. I don't know if you've all noticed the last couple of days, but I'm in a different, I've had a high blood pressure issue lately, and my wife thought I've had high blood pressure in the past and I've gotten it under control. I'm not taking anything for high blood pressure right now. But my wife, the other day, I don't know, she got it in her head that my high blood pressure was back, and she took my blood pressure and it was high. And the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, because once you know your blood pressure, I don't take my blood pressure all the time, but once you know your blood pressure is high, you start thinking about it all the time. And one thing I do know from my blood pressure problems in the past is my blood pressure is its highest when I'm on the air. And yesterday and the day before, right before 8 o'clock, the last hour of the show, I don't have a blood pressure machine here and I didn't take it. And maybe this was just a panic attack and anxiety, I don't know. But I felt my blood pressure was up quite a bit, actually. It happened about the same time the last couple of days. Right before about 7:45, 5 to 8, and the last couple of days in the 8 o'clock hour, I was kind of taking it easy and distracted a little bit because I've been worrying about my blood pressure. And what I've thought was my blood pressure is going up, not just because of our callers, our liberal callers, but because of my coffee. I drink espresso, and I drink a very large espresso every morning. And a few weeks back, I cut my coffee back in half, and my blood pressure has still been high. And anyone who does this kind of job that takes their blood, if I had a blood pressure machine here, I've done this before, Steve and I. We've taken our blood pressures during the show, and it's like through the roof. Because when you're doing a radio show, it's like you're very high adrenaline. It's everything going on. So what I've done is I cut my coffee back in half a few weeks back, and yesterday I cut it back another quarter, and I'm trying to phase myself off of espresso because I was getting an espresso that had 4 or 5 shots of espresso in it I was drinking. So I cut that back in half. So now I cut that back a quarter. So I am going through a little bit of caffeine withdrawals this morning. I'm just telling you guys. So if I sound off and a little loopy, it's the caffeine withdrawal, because I don't know, things are looking a little different, how that withdrawal works. I have such sympathy for drug addicts, because I can't even give up espresso coffee. I don't know how you give up hunter's demons. I don't know. They don't have coffee rehabs. But I am going through a little caffeine withdrawal. Now, with that being said, let me take a break. When we get back, I'll jump right back into the issues and bring up some new topics. But you're certainly welcome to call in on the Ashli Babbitt report that has come out, as well as the police at the school board meetings, I believe, are instigating the violence. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free
I don't need a lot of salt.
Attorney Barry Siegel
I'm pretty low sodium.
26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
In the past year and a half,
Be right back, guys. I got to get a
there
glass
has
of water.
been an escalation of feelings of stress, uncertainty, and conflict. So many of us have felt more agitated, worried, and even isolated than ever before. This can bring on depression, anxiety, and panic. I'm Dr. Janae Lamaski. I'm a board-certified licensed clinical psychologist. I believe that it is never too late to feel better and improve your quality of life. You can change the things you don't want in your life. I am passionate about listening, empowering, and motivating you to feel confident and take control of your life. This is not just talk therapy. I use interactive techniques to walk you down the path to feel complete. I have expertise in hypnotherapy, EMDR, meditation, and anger management. You can also join me live every Saturday at 11 a.m. as your psychological source. If you are experiencing any difficulties, give me a call. Let me help you get your life back. I am available for telehealth as well as in-person sessions. Call me at 561-777-2021. That's 561-777-2021. Or email me at drjlomaski@gmail.com. drjlomaski@gmail.com. You don't have to do this alone.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Yeah, and you know, Dr. Lamaski is my therapist, and she's Steve Kane's therapist. She was my therapist first, okay? Steve had this therapist that I thought was like some sadistic anti-therapist. He'd go to his therapist, and he'd feel worse than when he went in. So I introduced him to Dr. Lamaski. He's been there ever since. So, you guys give her a call. She does good work. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill George Zimmerman's neighbor.
Oh, yes. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I think it's Nancy Pelosi and the Capitol Police that are responsible. He should have been demoted because he was reckless. And what happened with Babbitt was reckless. He would not have been at that position. He wouldn't have been in charge of other people. Therefore, everything would have been a different outcome.
Well, I'm going to say it plainly. I think he's a lieutenant because he's affirmative action. Because I saw him. He's had two incidents. He panicked with Ashli Babbitt. He left his pistol in the men's room of the Capitol. And I saw him testify, and he's not the brightest bulb. I mean, how does he pass those sergeant's and lieutenant exams and things like that? I think he's been promoted beyond his skill set due to affirmative action.
Well, and then on that interview, I watched it too. This guy just opened a case for a civil suit from what he said in that.
Well, I don't know what happens when you do a civil suit like this against the federal government. I don't know. Can you even do that in this kind of situation? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Mark Levin could speak on that. I don't know. Anything that, Congress makes the laws, and they make the laws so they can screw the rest of us over.
Keep themselves from being prosecuted.
Yeah, like Nancy Pelosi's insider stock trading that she does, that Jesse Waters exposed this last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's unbelievable.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. And then, can I make a comment on the father that was arrested?
At the school board, the father whose daughter was raped in the bathroom by a boy in a skirt. Yeah.
I got a feeling that the cops were told to arrest anybody.
Well, I've seen a lot of the school board videos, and I know everybody has, right? They're all over television. And what I see are like 3-4 cops tackling parents over seats in the school board meeting. And I understand that the parents are there screaming and there's F-bombs and everything else. But these cops, the parents are not threatening anyone, sticks and stones. And the cops are supposed to be trained in de-escalation, and the cops at the school board meetings are escalating things. When that parent, the father of the rape victim, he was bloodied. His face was swollen, his lip was bleeding, and his clothes were torn, and he was cuffed behind his back. My goodness.
Well, and, it's also the chairman of the school board that could have had him just slow down. I'm going to listen to you. Just tell me without raising your voice, and we will listen to you for more than an extended time.
Well, I don't. This is what I don't know, and this isn't. It depends on where you're at, but if different counties and different states have different things. But I wonder in Virginia, what department these police officers with. A lot of school systems have their own police department. Okay, like here in Florida, at least in the part of Florida I'm in, there's a special school division. There's a police division just for the schools. So, like with the Capitol Police, these local governments, like these school boards, may have too much power and influence over the police, and I don't know. I got some negative feedback from some people off the air yesterday. Oh, I'm attacking cops. I'm sorry. Every incident of a school board fight I've seen, the police have instigated. Every one I've seen.
They exercise. They want beyond walking up to the guy and either calming them down or
they're not professionally trained enough. I'll give you an example. I went and saw President Clinton at an event when he was president with Hillary, and I was in the front of a rope line with President Clinton and Hillary, and there's what we have in these police departments at the school boards. They're not well trained. They're the wrong people, like these Capitol cops. I saw a guy and his son go under the rope line, and they were on the opposite side of the rope line between President Clinton and Hillary Clinton when he was president and she was first lady. And it was an amazing thing. Two guys just walked up and picked them up and walked away with them. Nobody even knew what happened. I was at an incident with President Trump before he was president, my first Trump rally that I went to. He wasn't president yet. And there was this Bernie Sanders woman who threw a fit in front of me. Two plainclothes young security officers came over. She was screaming and yelling like she was having a seizure. They picked her up and walked out with her. There was no incident. They didn't escalate. They didn't tackle her and start wrestling. These cops at the Capitol in the school board meeting, they don't have the proper training. They're unqualified for the positions.
Well, yeah, they're probably just the same as the top type of police over at the Capitol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of cops, and I know they wouldn't behave like they're good guys and they're well trained and have experience and everything else. But these police officers that are in these government agencies, it's not like the regular police. It doesn't seem to me.
Yeah, what a shame.
It is. Hey, take care. All right, George Zimmerman's neighbor. He's not kidding. He's in Sanford. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yep.
I'm David from California and Florida, real estate broker.
Hey.
Just a couple of comments. I don't know, what do you think has started all of this? We never used to have all of these incidences of violence perpetrated by police. Or do you think that it was always there and just always covered up because of the good old boys?
No, I don't think there's anything new. I just think everybody has a high definition camera on their phone now. And social media, the internet. We just see, it's like with, to take it away from the police, this climate change. There is not more bad weather than there ever was. There's just the ability to see weather in places we didn't see it again. If it's sprinkling in Tahiti, it'll be on CNN, So it seems like there's more bad weather because technology allows us to see things we couldn't see before, That's all. There's not more violence. There may be less because police officers are they know they can be filmed at any particular time. So I think most police officers cool off a little bit more than they would like because they don't want to be on Twitter.
Yeah, and I guess one other point too is the people that are attracted to that type of job. Some of them are interested in the violence and whatever. I mean, also I don't know if they're doing enough with psychological profiling of who they're hiring. It seems like they were getting a lot of people from the military that may have still had PTSD or something as well?
Well, I'll tell you, when I watch a lot of ID, and I love ID. This was on. I have not seen this yet, but John Walsh did a whole special on Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito last night on ID. I'm going to try to watch that today, but I watch a lot of ID, and there's one show that I enjoy called Fear Thy Neighbor, where neighbor conflicts end in death, deadly things, and it's a pretty good show. And 9 times out of 10, the neighbor that ends up doing the killing was in the service. And there's I think a lot of people leave the service and they don't have a proper exit strategy to their violence. You know what I mean? And there's a lot. I don't know why that is, but it seems to me 90% of the time the killer in Fear Thy Neighbor is veteran.
It's definitely a difficult situation. It's actually somewhat similar because one of my best friends is a senior pilot with United, and from high school actually, and a couple of his sons were in Afghanistan, and they came home and everything, and they weren't even there that long, and they still had a bunch of things that were issues from just being in that environment, and of course not being supported by Barack,
Well, I don't know. Vietnam veterans came back and were being spit on by Democrats.
Yeah, it's not their fault. They have to do what their idiots above them tell them to do, and then that was really bad. I mean, people, they look at the wrong thing. You did this, but that's not. They were ordered.
You gotta have. I have a lot of sympathy for veterans. I was. By the way, thanks for the call. I saw a special on YouTube yesterday that was in, my father was in Vietnam in '69, and what my dad's job, he was in the Marines, and what my dad's job was, he told me about it, and I didn't realize really until yesterday exactly what it is that he did. But my father had a job that they called the tunnel rat, and the Vietnamese had these tunnels under the ground where they had their whole operations, and they'd come out in the jungle out of the ground. And my dad's job was to go in those tunnels looking for the enemy and killing them. And he told me some stories. Oh boy! But I never really realized until I saw this video on YouTube. This guy, he was taking a tour of the tunnels in Vietnam. And when I saw the entranceway in the tunnels, it freaked me out. I cannot imagine. My dad was, 18 years old, 19. He was 19 years old, and he was going through these things. I could not imagine what that was like. And these, part of the reason I think there's so many veterans that end up in these deadly situations that I see on ID is because the war on terror has been going on for 20 years. And a lot of these guys have many, many, many tours of duty. Back in Vietnam, as bad as it was, you did your 13 months, and then you got rotated out. You could volunteer to go back, but that was basically it. You know what I mean? There are people that have been, I don't even know how many rotations in the war on terror. All right, let's see here. We got, Richie's on deck. So let me take a break. Because I know Richie doesn't want to go on for 30 seconds before the break. He must have something to say. So let me take a break. We'll come back with Richie the bus driver. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane
Well, Wookiees, that is because, I saw you said there, Wookiees. That's because we were right before the election. Right before the election, that's why we see 3,000 or 4,000. Like I remember, I was before the last election in 2016. I was on Facebook Live. I had over 4 million people watching me at one time on Facebook Live. So there's a peak when you're building up to the elections, and then after an election, So when we get to the midterms, peak again, then, And then when we get to the presidential election, we'll be in the, Probably we'll probably have 5,000-10,000 every day when we get on the eve of the presidential election. The presidential election is like the World Cup of this kind of stuff.
That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135.
But if you guys like the video, YouTube will recommend it more to people that like this kind of content.
These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone.
And there's actually, because I do look a little bit, more people later. Like after 7, more people are up and in the chat. Keep track of these things.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. Iowa Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. Iowa Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are most likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can
Now I put a link to my Patreon page that I pinned to the top of the chat. If you guys want to support me that way, that'd be very awesome. And there's all kinds of perks and benefits to that. If you go check it out, the link is up there. All right, we're back. Richie the bus driver, good morning. Oh, Richie must have put the phone down. Richie. Oh, okay. Hey, Richie.
Yeah, hi, good morning. First of all, let me just say this to you. If you go on YouTube, go on the Dowds, D-O-W-D, Dirty Dozen. Dowds, Dirty Dozen. Those, you'll see what happened there. I talked to those 6 guys before they left. I fed them for breakfast. They were part of my unit. Also, Painted Warriors. You'd be shocked to see what happened to these guys.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to bring this up to you. I don't agree with Al from Colorado Springs too often. And I'm going to disagree with you a little bit here on one thing. Then I want to get to Brianna Taylor. But the school board meeting at Loudon, okay? The school board meeting at Loudon, I watched that when that happened. They were yelling at the school board. The school board wasn't paying any attention to them. They disrespected the people in the audience by not listening. The people were getting frustrated. Okay? The school board just all of a sudden got up and said, "This meeting is adjourned. Officers, please clear the hallway, the auditorium." Those police officers are probably working extra duty. So chaos broke loose. They got up and they walked out on the people, and the people went up to the microphones and started carrying on. And the place they wouldn't clear out, and the officers gave them, I think, about 45 minutes to leave the auditorium. And they were talking to them, trying to talk them into leaving, and they refused to leave. And finally, the supervisor of the police came in and said, "Listen, if you don't leave, we're going to arrest you. You got to get out of here," because they put up with it for a long time because the people knew the cops were in a bad situation, and they overreacted on this guy because they tapped him and that's it. In other words, when you talk about complying to police when you're in an automobile, when a cop pulls you over and an officer says, "Do this, do that," and you listen. Not only did they have the patience to wait for like 45 minutes on the audience, then they wouldn't leave the auditorium. So what is it? So the bottom line is, they overreacted with this one person and they really roughed him up.
Oh yeah.
That was the
They beat him up.
Yeah, well, the supervisor came in and said, he warned them too. He said, "Listen, you've been told how many times already, if you don't leave," and finally all hell broke loose. There were 2 men that were arrested there. And that's what happened. And the news only showed the fighting and carrying on by the cops jumping on them. But they didn't show that they took over the microphone like they did the Capitol. They refused to leave. They got up and they did.
And there's other things you could do, like you take the school board out. You cut the power to the mic, so there's no mic. You do things like that. You turn the air conditioning off, and eventually they leave.
But the school board meeting wasn't over because after they cleared them out, the school board went back in to continue the meeting without the public. So you got to know that, and you haven't seen the cops.
Well, I've been to school board meetings here in South Florida, and they've never gotten that nuts, of course. But school board meetings are always tough, and the reason they are two reasons. One, you're dealing with people's children, and people don't like their children being messed with. Okay. The second thing is, and that's the natural instinct for a parent. And the other thing is, the school board members on every school board are as corrupt as Joe Biden. They're all on the take for whatever company does big purchases from the school board, and they're doing their own thank you, Brandon, or let's go, Brandon, to the parents at every school board meeting in America, because they've got these big fat cat people that bribe them, and they're up there to do them and screw the rest. And parents sense that. And I remember once Steve and I used to be on the Broward County School Board Diversity Committee, and I remember there was a big school board meeting, and somebody came up with a petition with like 10,000 signatures on it about something, gave it to a school board member, and I saw the school board member say to the other school board member, don't worry about it, those 5,000, they're not even going to vote. And they're up, and their school boards are jerks. They're jerks. They're like the homeowners association meetings.
You blame the cops. You blame the cops for that. What happened to that man? I blame the school board because they got up and they walked out. Because basically they were shooting the middle finger at everyone.
That's right, and pretty much every school board does that.
Cops were put in a very bad position. And by the way, those are not school cops. Those are cops that are making overtime. They're regular.
Yeah, the details. They're doing the side details, which are very lucrative.
Let me say this to you about Al. I'm going to stick up. And by the way,
which one, Al the John or racist Al from Coral Springs?
No, Al from Coral Springs. He brought up Breonna Taylor, and I'm going to say this to you. Al, you're right. What is a cop going to do when he has a no-knock warrant? And I guess maybe a mistake was made and they broke in. And they only shot inside that apartment because they were being shot at by her boyfriend. Okay, so the bottom line is, a white cop, and I'm bringing the race up here, a white cop got because they were afraid of riots, which were going on all over the place, was the sacrificial lamb because Breonna Taylor was killed in a gun shootout. Okay, so that one white...
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. The report showed that her and her boyfriend were in the hallway, and there was a gunfight going on, because I guess he slept... But what I was saying to Al yesterday is there was no need to use the no-knock warrant. They could have nabbed them when they out in the parking lot, and that would have been, that instead of doing that. And I don't know if that's training or if they just get excited to do a big tactical raid like that. I don't know. But I do believe that the police, and it could be training, I don't know, I do believe the police have responsibility in that, and that there was no need. A no-knock warrant to me is if somebody is inside holding someone hostage, or a kidnapper, a rape victim's in there with a rape, not just because, and that seemed to be just because.
Now here's the deal. I think it was the wrong apartment, by the way. I think they had it burned up.
I don't know. I don't remember all the details, but yeah.
It's the question I'm throwing at you, and I hope Al calls up because I'd like to hear this. Since the Black Lives Matter protested this thing all over the country and burned places down for Breonna Taylor, and they're screaming her name out. After all, the cops were getting shot at first. The deal is this: if Black Lives Matter were in the Capitol and a white cop had shot a black woman unarmed, you think this would have been swept under the rug like this?
Yeah.
The thing where blacks in this country right now, I'm sorry to say it, they are getting the benefit of a doubt, and I don't know what's going on here. If you're
what's going on is there's white liberal guilt empowering racists who are black to act out and discriminate against white people. They want to oppress white people to undo past injustices that none of us were a part of or experienced.
Thank you very much, because this is the true story here. There's a double standard of justice in this country right now. If you're black, you get away with it. What about the 18-year-old black just now that shot up?
I mean, even in the Ashli Babbitt, if Ashli Babbitt were black and the lieutenant were white, he'd be done. Be done. Even if she was black MAGA with a MAGA hat on, if she had a Blacks for Trump shirt on, same thing. There's a absolutely. Hey Richie, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, George Fort.
Hey George.
Mark Twain, almost 150 years ago, had the following quotation: "First, God created idiots, but He wasn't satisfied, so He created school boards." Unquote.
Yeah, Mark Twain. Brilliant man.
Yeah.
Great. I think Mark Twain's probably the greatest American writer. I know Hemingway gets the title, but I would say Mark Twain, because there's a lot of wisdom with Mark Twain.
Yeah, and he's banned in school, for the woke reasons.
Oh, please. I don't even think kids know who he is anymore. Yeah. All right, hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Now, I'll tell you this, though. No matter what's going on in my life, my blood pressure, worries, no matter what's going on, I get a perfect night's sleep. And I get a perfect night's sleep each and every night because of the Thomas Edison of sleep himself, Mr. Mike Lindell, the defender of Trump, the defender of MAGA. When you go to mypillow.com, you can take advantage of every special there with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. In fact, you can save up to 60% off. And this is Christmas shopping season, people. And I want to tell you about a few items right now that are perfect for yourself or to add to your gift giving list. And there's some incredible specials going on right now. Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener specials, and you will hear the specials I'm going to share with you right now. Again, radio listener specials at mypillow.com. With our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. I have these, and they are wonderful and perfect. Buy one set, get a second set free with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow My Slippers. I wear my Slippers every day. I go home, take my Vans off, put on my MyPillow My Slippers. On Friday, that's all I wear until I come back to work on Monday. Sometimes I wear them to work too. The MyPillow My Slippers, they come in multiple styles and colors for both men and women. 50% off with the promo code KANE. You'll love these slippers. They're good for all day wear. They're really more of a shoe than a slipper. The MyPillow towel set. I have the MyPillow towels, and they are spectacular. I heard Mike Lindell talk. I developed this new towel, and I was like, well, a towel's a towel. What until I used it. My goodness. First time I used the MyPillow towel, I got out of the shower. I just touched my body with it. I was completely dry. And the towel's not even wet. It's amazing. It's an incredible. Now listen to this. With the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, on the radio listener specials, the MyPillow towel set, usually $110. Just $39.99 with the promo code KANE at checkout. Lowest price ever on the MyPillow itself. I have the MyPillow. My wife does. My daughter. I know a lot of you do. These are all great Christmas gifts, by the way. The MyPillow, just $29.98 with the promo code KANE. And there's something new, an incredible new special. We were talking earlier in the week about this gay Superman comic. You don't want your kids reading that nonsense. You want them reading the Word of the Lord, Jesus Himself and God. The MyPillow Children's Bible Stories pillows are amazing. It's both the Children's Bible Story pillowcase, and it comes with the Go Anywhere pillow, which is perfect for children. And if you go to the radio listener specials, you will see them. The artwork is amazing, and on the back, it has the Bible story written on it so the kids and grandkids can read them at night. And there's 5 of them, starting with the first pillow, the story of creation. The second pillow, Daniel in the lion's den. The third, Jonah and the whale. The fourth, the story of Noah's ark. And of course, the 5th one is the story of baby Jesus. With the promo code KANE at checkout, 50% off. And again, this is for the entire 5-pillow set. The MyPillow Children's Bible Story pillows, 50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. There's many other specials there. Take advantage of them, and it's a great way to support this program. Especially those of you that are out of town, it's a great way for you to support the program, and of course, it's a great way for us all to support the great Mike Lindell. So go to mypillow.com, use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 716-4879. Promo code KANE.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, Doug. Steve Kane Show.
Much higher than that.
Hey, hold on.
Your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the
Julian, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. If you let it go to the parking lot, you lose containment and expose the public to danger. Oh, you're talking about the school board meeting. Yeah, I see that. Oh, the Bible pillows, yeah, they're spectacular. And they're actually, it's 50% off with the promo code KANE. The Bible pillows, they're only $19.99, $20 with the promo code KANE. I don't know if I said that part, just $20, pretty good deal. They're beautiful. Great Christmas gifts. And this special, I don't think the special... I don't think the special will be there at Christmas. Oh, here's Mike Lindell talking about it. Let me see.
Hello, everyone. You all know I'm a kid at heart. Well, here is my new favorite product. Children's Bible Story Go Anywhere My Pillows. What they have, we have the same patented fill, the same Go Anywhere pillow for that comfort and awesome sleep. But now we have stories from the Bible and scenes from the Bible. Look at here. This is the first one. This is where God creates heaven and earth. If you don't know the
That's
story,
them.
you flip it over.
They're nice.
From day 1 all the way to day 7 when he rested. I mean, that's awesome, right? Okay, here's the next one. We've got 5. We're going to go through all 5. What's this one? Can anyone guess?
Give Scott a Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed.
Yeah, see, aren't they nice?
Hey. Know the story? There it is.
His number,
you read
which
the
rings
story?
directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to
Steve
avoid
Kane Show.
nursing home seizure of your assets.
Hey, Greg.
Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Call the show toll free. Dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now, here's...
All right, welcome back, everyone. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, I'm wearing my MAGA hat today, my Make America Great Again hat. I have a lot of Trump hats, but this one's really my favorite because it's the red Make America Great Again hat, and it says Make America Great Again as big as is possible to fit on my head. And anytime I'm broadcasting with this Make America Great Again hat on, I feel just a little wiser than when I don't have it on. I don't know, am I channeling like Kreskin on Carson or something, but I feel like I'm channeling Trump. All right, listen, there's only one opening on our board, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. 888-465-2631. Before I bring up any new topics, let's go to our phones. Greg, 2, you're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. Listen, a couple of topics you addressed. First of all, as far as your high blood pressure / hypertension, there are, natural holistic ways you can address it. Obviously limiting caffeine, but also dietary ways. So,
See, Greg is not only a lawyer, he's also a physician. He's giving me advice here.
I'm not issuing prescriptions. I'm saying I suffer from it as well, and I changed my diet. I eat better types of foods. I'm not gonna go into.
Okay, I get it. I appreciate it. So, what'd you call about today? Not my BP.
By the way, I have a Juris Doctor, but not a medical degree.
Oh, there he is. He does have a doctor. Oh, he has a Juris Doctor. Yeah, go ahead. What's on your mind? What'd you call about?
You know what, Brian? I was proud of that. You kind of I went to 7 years of school. And
everybody knows you're an attorney, Greg. Everybody knows that. You don't have to continue. Everyone knows that. You don't have to keep giving your credentials all the time. What's on your mind other than yourself? What's on your mind today?
You know what? All right, let's get to. Oh, by the way, I just remembered too, Richie. Congratulations. I mean, we honor your service, and you used to mock Richie. People don't realize they haven't listened to you for like the past decade. You used to mock him for being a cook. Do you remember that?
Being a what? Being a what?
A cook in the military. He was like I remember yesterday after I hung up with you, I go, I don't recall Richie doing service. I go, oh, that's right. You used to mock his service, saying, well, he was just a cook, whatever they call themselves. And
I didn't mock him for being a cook. Having fun and joking around isn't necessarily mocking. But you probably don't do a lot of male bonding in your life, so you don't get it.
Than you,
I bet you do. But he doesn't even get the reference. Yeah, I know. I bet Mayor Pete does a lot of male bonding too. But Richie, the bus driver, actually was an Army cook on the front line in Vietnam. He was like 100 yards from the enemy, cooking up food for people. So no, I respect his service.
But I remember the conversation. You used to mock him. But if you're lying to yourself, that's fine. That's your own.
Okay, go ahead. What's on your mind? All this pettiness.
The police. Listen, the police. What started this whole empowerment movement was that police officers were shooting black individuals caught on camera via phone, like you brought up. That phones are now, everyone has one, everyone has a video camera, and people are running away, or they're in cars, they're shooting them unauthorized. The no-knock warrant, they could have waited for him patiently till he exited the house or saw him in a public place and took him down. The police have caused this problem we're facing now and empowered the liberal media to make police officers look like villains every time. And by the way, did you see the paraplegic recently that was in his car? Did you watch that video?
Yeah, I saw it.
The entire video where he's...
No, I didn't watch the entire video. It's too hard to watch. I don't know. It's too much.
No, the guy's got $20,000 in his car. He's left seeing a scene of a drug house. And the police, NBC, and like I'm going to show you my conservative values here. NBC, the liberal media, they only showed a little bit of it to make believe they were like to show that they're dragging this paraplegic out. No. They asked him politely, please exit the car. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. But now the media and other liberal groups have been empowered by acts of certain police officers. Do you agree with me on this statement that in the past, let's say 2 years, police have committed egregious acts and shooting people, certain ones?
No, I don't agree with that. I need a specific incident of someone being shot that's outrageous. I don't know of one offhand. No, I do not agree with that.
Well, okay, I've watched them over the course of the last 2 years, and they're caught on video.
No, the problem with the video is if it's done by an individual on their cell phone, people don't start filming until after there's an incident. Then they start filming after, and you miss the initial spark. You only see the final moment. In the police body cam footage, there's two problems with police body cam footage. One, they don't have steady cam body cams. I mean, my goodness, it's ridiculous. I could do jumping jacks with my iPhone. It wouldn't be bouncing like that. And the media do a lot of editing too. They say for time, but I think it's for narrative and agenda. So there's a lot of out of context there. The videos take things too out of context.
I concur with you completely. But to the Capitol riot, aren't we tired, like COVID, of hearing about it constantly through the media? Now your show. I mean, can't we just?
Well, I don't call it a riot. I don't know if it was a riot or not. I don't know how I would describe it. The Capitol breach. I usually say breach.
Breach. Okay, I'll go with the word breach.
I mean, it's a riot when people were walking between the rope lines, and then they walked out. So, there were some people that got out of control and vandalized. There were some vandals. Yeah, vandals. There was vandalism.
See the Capitol Police that was being squeezed behind like a door. They were trying to crush him.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I saw that. I'd like to see the guy. I'd like to see the guy that went inside with the Confederate flag, and find out who he was. Was he MAGA or was he a Democrat? Most of the time, you go to these events, the people with the Confederate flags are Democrats that are pretending to be Republicans. They did this in Charlottesville. During Charlottesville in particular, when they had the racists there, their flags, they had like Nazi flags, Confederate flags, and stuff like this. The flags had creases in them, like little squares throughout. They were just been taken out of the packages like that morning, So just because somebody has a Confederate flag, the media like to say, oh, look, right-wing Confederate. The Confederate flag is a Democrat flag, and oftentimes it's a Democrat carrying the flag pretending to be a conservative. But I don't know, but it's possible.
So we now know the media has changed that whole dynamic where the Confederate flag is related to what word? Racism. Right.
Yeah, I'm a northerner. I'm not from the South, but when I lived up north as a kid, I never saw a Confederate flag unless I was watching the Dukes of Hazzard. And when I came to Florida in the 80s, I moved to Florida like in 82. There were Confederate flags everywhere, and kids in school would call me a Yankee. I'm like, what are you talking about? But it's that's just the way it is. It's more often than not, people with Confederate flags are not conservative. At political events, they're mostly Democrats trying to make it look like a white supremacist event.
I can't comment on that. I don't.
Well, okay. Well, since you can't, I'll move on to someone who can comment on things. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning, Brian. It's your buddy Al. Hey, listen, did you get a chance to watch Zeitgeist the Denim yet? That short film on YouTube?
No, I'm too busy working to sit around and watch videos that you're asking me to watch.
No, it's not. It's something everybody needs to see.
Yeah.
On the phone and talk about finances. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Uh-huh.
Talking about the debt ceiling and,
Oh, but you know what you're talking about. What do you know the most about? What is your area of expertise, Al? What is your area of expertise? What do you know most about?
This film exposes the banking system of America.
Oh, it exposes. Oh, okay. So what are we not supposed to do? What's wrong with the banking system now?
This film should be shown in...
Well, just tell me. Just tell me. What is the conclusion of the film? Well, we're on the radio. We can't watch stuff. You're a smart guy. What's the message of the movie?
Zeitgeist the Denim.
Oh my! What is this? Your video that you're trying to rack up views on? Enough, Al. Come on. I love talking to callers. We're open. This is an open forum for liberals to call in too, but not just to plug things. This show, our business, of course, it's talk. But the business is radio promotion. People pay to get advertising on this show. Now again, these are good people that Steve and I use. Either one of us or both of us use each and every one of our sponsors. But you don't just get to do free commercials here. We'd be out of business if we did that. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
Richard here in Kentucky.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, on that, Ashli Babbitt thing, it's strictly true, racial. As far as, the color of her skin, why it wasn't prosecuted. That's just period,
No, I think more it was the MAGA hat. If she was black with a MAGA hat, you think they would have prosecuted a black cop? I don't think so.
Well, maybe, maybe not, but I believe they would.
Yeah. No, when someone to liberals, okay, to what liberals think is this: if someone is black and and they're a Republican, they're not black. I mean, look at the great Larry Elder when he was running for governor a couple weeks ago in California. The mainstream media said that he's the black face of white supremacy. So no, if Ashli Babbitt were black and the copy, no, MAGA hat cancels all that out.
Well, I just know here, like in Kentucky, state police, they kill people.
Yeah.
What? But Breonna Taylor went berserk over that. I mean, national headlines.
Well, there's no, I hear you, okay, but there's no rhyme or reason as to why some things become national. You know, like this girl that Brian Laundrie killed, allegedly, Gabby Petito. Okay, you know, there are girls strangled by boyfriends and husbands regularly, sadly, I'm sure, but only this one is the national. It's hard to say why some stories become national sensations and others don't.
Yeah, but the YouTube channel, that's what she made her own little celebrity thing. She had to follow her. No wonder she.
No, her van YouTube channel was a tiny little channel she just started up. They just started. They didn't have really any viewers. I mean, I'm bigger on YouTube than they were before this. Now they have one video up and it's got like, a lot of views. But no, they were just starting out. She was not a big YouTuber. In fact, there was a few months ago, there was another female white girl YouTuber who did that van life thing too. And she committed suicide by stepping in front of a moving train. And she was a big van life YouTuber. That wasn't a big story.
Suicides normally don't make stories.
No, but she was a celebrity with a massive following on YouTube, and it was and there was dramatic footage of her doing it.
Yeah. Well.
All right, take care, Kentucky. All right, listen, we're going to take our break. It's 19 minutes after the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We will be back after this.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Sole Authority. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com, Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All righty. Welcome back, everyone. 21 minutes after the hour. Good morning. You're on the radio.
You?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name?
John.
Oh, hey, John.
How come people pick on Andrea so much?
Oh, you were the guy that was kind of like fantasizing about Andrea the other day. No one's mentioned her today but you.
No, the guy before me did.
Oh, I see. Did he? Oh, I didn't hear.
Yeah.
That must have been Greg. I was tuning Greg out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it all the time. But why do people pick on her? She sounds like one of the most logical callers you got.
He's trying to get a date. He's trying to get a date. I don't know. I don't know. Why do you think?
Probably because of jealousy.
Ah. Of what? What are they jealous of?
They probably got fat, ugly wives at home.
Oh, I see.
Nag them all the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And you're single, right, John? You're single, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yes, all the way.
Yeah.
They say something about the poor blonde little girl.
Gabby Petito, that was, strangled to death, yeah.
She's a victim of this liberal mentality. Her parents are white liberal, permissive people. Had very low expectations.
What are you talking about? Gabby Petito's family? I've seen them on TV. They look like good people. Let me tell you. How many kids do you have? How many kids do you have, John?
One.
Boy, girl, and how old? Girl. Okay, you got a girl. 24?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I thought your daughter would be like my age. Well, here's the thing. When you have a daughter in their it's scary. My daughter, I didn't talk about this till it was over, but my daughter this last week went to California to visit friends. And my daughter's traveled around. She's traveled. She's been to other countries with me, and she's traveled here and there, but never by herself. And it was her first trip alone. And she went to meet friends that my wife and I really don't know, and it was frightening. And that's probably why my blood pressure has been up lately. And it was frightening until the moment I picked her up at the airport the other night. And when you have a daughter, it's a scary thing. And but what are you going to do? You're going to lock them up and keep them under house arrest? You gotta let them be free. So they gotta and it's obviously it's tough. It's tough. But I'll tell you this. If my daughter came home with Brian Laundrie, that guy would have turned me off right away. He looked like a scummy guy. I saw the police video, and I saw that guy. He looked like a very scummy guy. I would put my foot down about that.
I would have fed him to alligators myself.
Oh, really? Before he did anything, you would have killed? Oh, my gosh. Okay. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Oh, Andrea. Well, I feel like I'm a dating show here now. John's a good guy. He's a lonely guy
John is a good guy, and there's a lot of other callers that have been chivalrous men and have come to my defense, and I appreciate that. But this is what I think is going on, Brian, because like Greg too has had a go at me. Now, Albert John has had a go on me. It's one of two things. Either they're just misogynist, or they're very jealous of how much time you spend with me on the phone.
Oh, I spent a lot of time. Greg, too, was on for a long time when he calls.
Yes, and giving you medical advice. That's amazing.
He does have a Juris Doctorate. He did tell us that today.
Yeah. He never talks about that?
Lawyers are a dime a dozen. We have too many lawyers. Lawyers is the one college-educated professional that we have way too many of.
But you know what he never talks about, though, Brian? He never talks about the people who are currently in jail for the January 6th incident who have not been allowed due process. They have not been given bail. They have not been able to meet with attorneys. Never talks about that at all. And Alton John saying that I don't know what I'm talking about because of the banking system. I already have.
That wasn't Al the John. That was another Al. That's Black Racist Al from Coral Springs. Not to be confused with Al the John. He's another, yeah.
I have my Series 7. I'm studying for my Series 65. I did it for fun.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Series 7 is being able to be a stock trader, and Series 65 is to be a financial advisor.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
For Al to say, I don't know what I'm talking about, but he should take his financial advice from a YouTube video.
Well, the problem with him is, Al could be a good caller, but he won't have a conversation. He watched a video that he says is like 90 seconds, but he can't summarize what the video tells us. Yeah, I mean, he could summarize it and say, I watched this video on YouTube, and this is what I took from it. But he doesn't have the mental capacity to do that. He doesn't have the ability to think logically. He's not the brightest bulb in the bunch of callers we have here. Even when he's on hold, I can tell when Al from Coral Springs is on hold, because the on hold light's a little dimmer than when some of our other callers are on hold.
Well, it's very emotionally driven, right? Everything with liberals.
Al from Coral Springs is a racist. And I would imagine his problem with the banking system is it was built on money. He thinks slaves did everything, So it's probably built on the backs of slaves or something, is probably what he's getting at.
The question that I wish you would have asked him was, does he use the very banking system that he's condemning? Because if he doesn't, and he's dealing in all cash, then he's being a tax evader.
Well, you assume he has money.
Well, he's got to do something, or
Yeah.
he's living with his mom.
You never know. A lot of liberals live with their moms. All right, Andrea, take care. Appreciate the call. Always something interesting to say. All right, let's go to Doug, conservative Doug. Good morning.
Good morning. I was watching One American News, and they had a reminder of a video of Fauci saying that during the Trump administration there's going to be a pandemic. I mean, he didn't say it could be. He said there's going to be.
Okay.
They was making it seem like this was maybe we should all be thinking perhaps he should be questioned on it.
No one likes Fauci. It's amazing to me that National Geographic has a documentary out right now on Fauci. It's called Fauci. Very creative title. I saw the trailer for it. I couldn't stomach it.
I'm telling you.
I wonder when is the last time he's had a stethoscope on a patient.
Probably never. How the hell can somebody, does he have a crystal ball? How can you say there's going to be? It's one thing if he said, well, you have to watch out, it could be.
That's a good point. Maybe he's psychic. Hey, Doug, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Oh, hey, Brian. It's Mike Heister from Houston.
Mike in Houston. What's up?
Hey, yeah, I don't know. You were talking about the Loudoun County school board things that have been going on up there lately, and quite by coincidence, I know you're not going to believe this, but I lived in Loudoun County for about 5 years, from 2010 to 2015, and that is a blue enclave. It's like all the wealthy elites.
Well, here's my guess. I don't know how far is Loudoun from D.C. of a drive?
Non-rush hour, 35 minutes.
Yeah, see, here's the deal. See, that part of Virginia is where all the bureaucrats from D.C. live. And the school board, and I'm sure every other government agency in that area has too much influence and everybody in the bureaucracy is a liberal jerk, that have too much influence again over all the government agencies in that area. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's and the other thing is you got the wealthy K Street types, the K Street lobbyists, Capitol Hill lobbyists, that kind of thing. The industrialists, the military-industrial complex type individuals, contractors, that kind of thing. The well-off ones, not the ordinary. They're moving out into Loudoun County, and so it's become quite blue.
Yeah, and I bet you they have beautiful metro stations in Loudoun County that take you right to D.C.
No, not closest that gets out there is Dulles, the Dulles Airport, and I don't think they've opened that up, but they have some. I used to ride. I've ridden with the Middleburg Hunt before. I'm a bit of a horseman, and I will tell you something. Oh my God, the mansions out there, the Mars, the heiress to the Mars Candy Bar fortune is out there. Robert Duvall. I've met Robert Duvall actually at a steeplechase. Who else? I was told that the Queen of England actually owns property. Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, really? Wow.
It is, yeah, it is. If you go into Middleburg, but anyway, what I'm getting at is that I think it's so ironic that the pushback from all this progressive leftist ideology that you're seeing in the Loudoun County School, I mean, that's coming into Loudoun County School, a blue enclave. I think it's kind of, so it's almost like it's okay to serve that to you and everybody, not to my child. Don't you dare serve that stuff to my child. And then the other thing that I find that's really, that I think everyone is missing is the 800-pound gorilla in the room that no one seems to be talking about, is that the public school systems are becoming these indoctrination centers instead of education. Instead of teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, they're teaching the kids about, social dis and progressivism and,
Well, they're reading from Mao's little book. But what they've done is, and this starts in pre-K now through 12th grade, is they're doing in public school what they have been doing in colleges for 50 years. The liberal indoctrination is now with the... And, I mentioned this yesterday. Candace Owens, I like Candace Owens, but, she was a big never Trumper in 2016. So she was making jokes online about Trump's hand size and stuff. So I'm always cautious. But Candace Owens said the other day people should take their kids out of public school. Well, it's easy for her to say. Her husband owns a social media platform, and she's got this big deal with Ben Shapiro. Most people can't afford to put their kids in private school. I'm sorry, Candace Owens. You've lost touch with reality, Candace.
Or homeschool, for that matter. Most parents...
I'm not a supporter of homeschooling. I'm not a supporter of homeschooling for a couple of reasons. I mean, one, no matter what, parents and their kids, parents don't listen. Kids in a school setting like that, it's not the same kind of thing. There's no social interaction. Another thing is, what happens a lot of times is, like if I were homeschooling my child, and this is true of most homeschooling parents, they focus most on the subjects they know the most about. So if a parent doesn't know how to do geometry or algebra, they're not going to get too much of that at home. Homeschooling, and I also don't think we should abandon the public schools and allow them to become the drive-in in Red Dawn, which, if anybody remembers the movie, what that was. But that's,
Well, like I said, to me, the big gorilla in the room is that the social and morality aspect of education has been ceded to these educators when it should be the parents. The parents should be teaching the children, the family values and the perspective on morality and on morality, religion, and that kind of thing. Get back to reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Well, the problem is that and this is fine. It can be corrected. Conservatives have had a focus on, since the 90s, homeschooling, Christian education, and also not encouraging young conservative people to become teachers because it doesn't pay any money. So to become business people and things like this, which is fine, but we need to start recruiting young people to get jobs as teachers. Hillsdale College, I don't know if they should. Hillsdale College should have a massive teacher program there at that college, and turn out a couple thousand teachers every year out of Hillsdale, those kind of things.
Well, one of the things I noticed when I was going through my academia was, I went to George Mason, and they actually had a pretty good a school of business. But business is not really, business is kind of, especially like in high schools, you have people that don't know anything about business, and so they disparage capitalism, and they talk about this wonderful idea called communism or Marxism, where everything is taken care of for you, and nobody has to compete.
Isn't it wonderful? Yeah.
Utopia. Yeah, and it's total BS, okay? And what they need to do, exactly what you're saying, what they need to do is they need to get some people in there that understand how capitalism, and to show the freedom, the ability to, basically expand it like a gas filling a volume.
Let me tell you something. If you took Donald Trump and the squad, okay, and took all their wealth away, and you just the squad, AOC and the squad, and Donald Trump, and gave each of them $50,000, and you returned in a year, the squad would be broke, and Donald Trump would be a millionaire again. You know?
Be broke, right? The squad would have gone into debt.
Exactly. They'd spend all their money and be in credit card. And Trump, he'd probably have a plane already in a year if he just started with 50,000. And that's the skill set. That's how, listen, I got to run for a break. I'm very late, but thanks for the call. It is 37 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show, for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. One of our longtime sponsors, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend, and he called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive after 10 days, by the way. Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit of a panic, obviously. So we called up any lab test now. It was about maybe 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. They said, come on right on over. I was anonymous. I didn't announce myself. We went over there. We got there about noon. We checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, and it gave you both the IgM and the IgG antibodies, which tells you if you have the infection now or if you've been exposed to it in the past.
Now, you went to any lab test now of Boca?
Boca Raton, yeah, in the Sandalfoot Plaza.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Well,
it really was. It was cool. And it's easy, it's simple, and I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Forget this 10-day nonsense.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial now? Doctor recommended. Any lab test now of Boca Raton.
There you go. Doctor recommended. Yeah, it was really kind of cool, and it was wonderful, and it was easy. And listen, to that end, go over and get tested. This is the test you want to get. It tells you point blank, did you have it, do you have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. So Dr. Mitch Matez personally recommending any lab test now of Boca. You heard Dr. Mitch Matez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road, on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood, over by the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with Attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yes, 41 minutes after the hour. We're way behind on our break, so this will be a short segment so we can get back on track. We don't want to have a traffic jam. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Just a quick mention, my wife actually went yesterday to Any Lab Test Now of Boca for some lab testing, not COVID testing, although they do have same-day PCR testing at Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Coral Springs. But she has to get tests done every couple of weeks for her regular doctor's appointments. And she went over there, and I'm telling you, 5 minutes in and out. 5 minutes in and out with her monthly or bi-monthly, what do you call it if it's every two, bi-weekly, with her bi-weekly test. 5 minutes in and out, and they guarantee the lowest price on all of their thousands of lab tests. You know, that's amazing. You go to your doctor's office for a lab test, you got the deductible, you got to wait around, the doctor doesn't care, you know, and you're waiting around for sometimes a couple hours, plus you got to drive there, you got to drive back. Oh, not enough. Any lab test now with Boca. My wife was in and out 5 minutes. Absolutely amazing. Now listen, there's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on the Steve Kane Show. Any Lab Test Now of Boca in the Sandalwood Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto, north of Hillsboro, on the east side of 441 State Road 7. And Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, which is on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood in Coral Springs, over by the Coral Square Mall, both open on Saturdays as well. All right, let me get to some of this audio here. This is Jen Psaki. It looks like, this supply chain issue is not going to be solved, which we'll talk about, but I wanted to play this clip first. Jen Psaki made a big error here, and people are playing the clip, but they're not jumping on it. This is Psaki yesterday. She was asked if the deliveries would be in time for Christmas.
Based on everything being announced today, can this administration guarantee that holiday packages will arrive on time?
We are not the Postal Service or UPS or FedEx. We cannot guarantee.
We're not the Postal Service, UPS, or FedEx. Excuse me, Jen Psaki. The Postal Service is part of the federal government, is it not? Has the Postal Service gone private? Did the Postal Service go private now? We're not the post office. Yes, you are the post office. You know why Biden's in trouble with these ships, okay? This is why he's in trouble. He came out yesterday. I got this one clip when he walked away. I'm not sure if it's in this clip. Let me play. Hold on.
We've unlocked the full might and dynamism of our economy and our people. That's what we're going to do. God bless you all, and may God bless the longshoremen, rail workers, truckers, and all the workers who are keeping our economy going. May God protect our troops. Thank you all so very much.
I love it how the liberal media that's been trying to take Christ out of Christmas and cancel Christmas for the last 25 years all of a sudden are concerned about Christmas. But right there, Biden, it's not about turning the back. When he did all his thank yous, okay? Biden's problem is, well, he's got a lot of problems, okay? I'm talking about the shipping issue out in California. But his big problem is he bills himself as a union guy. Was he ever a union worker? He loves the unions. He's always talking about the unions. And he does this big shout out to all the union guys out in California. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't give out to the longshoremen, local 2216, it basically is what he did. If Trump were in the White House right now, what he would do is he would haul in the longshoremen's union, and he would bring in the admiral of the Navy, and he would say to the admiral, get the Navy out there. And they unload ships too in the Navy, including freighters. So Trump would have the Navy there with the longshoremen unloading all the cargo, and it'd be done like that. It'd be done cheaply because the Navy, well, they're already getting paid, right? No OT for the Navy. But Biden can't do that because, one, he's incompetent and can't think that way. And number two, the unions have screwed this country over for 50, 60 years. That's why everything's coming in from China and not here anymore, is because of the unions. And he just can't think beyond the unions. The unions are always the hero, even when they're screwing us out there in California with the ships. But, Ron DeSantis has offered the solution. Bring the ships to Florida. We'll unload them here. This is a right-to-work state, Florida, which is such a strange term, right-to-work state. What that means, they call it that all the time, a right-to-work state. And what that means is you have the right to work without being in a union. Can you imagine? That's democratic freedom, right? Democrat Party. You can only work if you're in a union. That doesn't sound like freedom to me. But Biden, and he scooted away like George Burns with his back to Christmas, and he scoots away. Doesn't care. They're afraid for him to take questions now. And I was listening to one of the pundits on Fox. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a funny guy too. I like him, but he said, don't they understand how bad the optics are? See, the optics of him taking questions is worse than the optics of him turning his back on the press and scooting away in his Depends, okay? It's very, they're afraid for him to take a question. But he's becoming the Grinch that stole Christmas, but don't worry. His kids and grandkids, they'll be taken care of. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The
Steve Kane Show.
2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, 49 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We are back. Welcome. So let me go through some more with Psaki. So the first one, I got to play the first one again. Then we'll go. I got some Psaki clips. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phones in a minute. This is the post office one again. This is just stupid.
Based on everything being announced today, and this administration guarantees that holiday packages will arrive on time.
We are not the Postal Service or UPS or FedEx. We cannot guarantee.
We're not the post office. Yes, you are. That is part of the federal government, stupid. All right. So then she talked about why Joe Biden was elected. Now, in 2016, President Trump was elected to make America great again, like it says on the hat I'm wearing right now. Why was Biden elected? Listen to this. This is Psaki actually telling us why Joe Biden was elected. Listen to this.
To forge a path forward to unite the Democratic Party is what people have elected him to do.
Wow, Joe Biden was elected to unite the Democrat Party? What about the other half of the country? Screw us? She's getting so loopy. Jen Psaki is on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And you can tell. You know why I can tell? She's saying what they say in their meetings that you're not supposed to say on TV. We're not the post office. No Christmas. Biden was elected to unite the Democrat Party. Screw the other half. My goodness. My goodness. Then she's talking about inflation.
I know you do,
but when the deceleration is happening slower, perhaps than people expected a few months ago,
Yeah.
and people are still paying 10 or 15 or 20% more for meat, and they're saying, why was it supposed to be transitory 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and we're still here? Does that make things more difficult to explain as to why this is the case?
Well, it requires us explaining, and through working with all of you as well, that the cost of meat is also related to competition and the small number of large meat producers who have a dominance over the market, and the fact that a lot of these issues are not as simple as a one-sentence explanation, and that different industries have different issues in the supply chains, different issues that are causing some increases in prices, and also because we all understand the American people are not looking at cost-to-cost comparisons from this year to 2 years ago.
Oh, really? When they go to the store and they can't afford to buy more. See, this is a woman who's never wanted in life. This is a woman who's never had to budget in life, right? You know, this is a woman who's never had to worry about whether or not she's got enough money to buy groceries, fill her car up with gas, and give her kids lunch money. Oh, people don't worry about prices. Everyone's rich like us. You know? People don't worry about prices of what things cost. They just buy things. They got the money. What an out-of-touch woman.
Because we all understand the American people are not looking at cost-to-cost comparisons from this year to 2 years ago. They're looking at cost-to-cost comparisons to their checkbooks from 8 months ago or 12 months ago. And even though factually, if you look back to 2 years ago, things may be comparative, that's not how people look at things. So our objective here is to tackle each of these issues with the approach that we think will help address it in the shortest term.
Whatever the hell that means. And then finally, oh, people don't care about prices. You just go to the store and you buy things. Then they give it to you. You know, what an out of touch woman. Mark in our chat room, he just said he just ordered another MyPillow with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Well, thank you, Mark. And I'll tell you, the MyPillow itself is at its lowest price ever. With the promo code KANE, you can get the MyPillow for just $29.98 with the promo code KANE. It's a very good deal. And there's some other great deals there, too. Mike Lindell's calling this the sale of the year. It's on the 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. If you go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener specials, you'll see all these specials, including the $29.98 MyPillow, lowest price ever with the promo code KANE. But the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, buy one set, get a second set free. And I have these sheets. My wife ordered another two. We have two sets. She just ordered two more, and using the promo code KANE, and she ordered one regular and one flannel, because we have like one day that it kind of gets cold in Florida every year, and we want to have flannel that day. So buy one set, get a second set of the MyPillow Giza Cotton Dream Sheets free when you use the promo code KANE. And these all make great Christmas gifts. There's also a great sale on the MyPillow My Slippers. Now again, this is the radio listener specials at MyPillow.com. You can get the My Slippers for 50% off. This is a better deal than I got. I have the MyPillow My Slippers. I've asked my wife to order me another pair for Christmas. They come in many different styles and colors for both men and women. 50% off with the promo code KANE. And those MyPillow My Slippers are made for indoor and outdoor wear and can actually be worn as a shoe. The MyPillow towel set, now this is an incredible deal. Normally $110. With the promo code KANE, the MyPillow towels, just $39.99. So if you have a set, it's time to get another set. They also make great Christmas gifts. They come in many different colors. I have the towel sets, and they are amazing and high quality, just like everything else Mike Lindell makes. And this is another great one. The MyPillow bathrobe. They come in styles for both men and women. They got a bunch of new colors, including brown and a burgundy, and there's just so many new colors. And I have a MyPillow bathrobe, as does my wife, with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, 30% off. I know, and you'll love them. They also make great Christmas gifts. Now, here's a great one for the kids, the grandkids. Mike Lindell, Mike Lindell's a good Christian man. You guys know this. He was just inducted over the weekend into the Christian Hall of Fame. And right now, at the radio listener special section at MyPillow.com, you can get, with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, the MyPillow Children's Bible Story Pillowcase with Go Anywhere pillow. for 50% off. 50% off with the promo code Kane. And there's 5 of them. And if you go there and look, you'll see they're beautiful, beautiful artwork telling a story from the Bible on the front. And then on the back, there's more beautiful artwork. And then printed out is the actual story. And here's what the 5 stories are. These are beautiful pillows, 50% off the MyPillow Bible pillows. The first pillow is the story of creation. The second, Daniel and the Lion's King. Third, Jonah and the Whale. Fourth, Noah's Ark. And 5, of course, the story of baby Jesus. These make great Christmas gifts for your children, your grandchildren, and again, 50% off, just $19.99 with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. All right, so I got one more. I've got one more sake clip, and I saved the best for last because, as I was saying a few minutes ago, Jin Sake, I was telling you the other day, Jin Sake, her jowls are starting to get bigger and bigger. The stress is getting to her. And yesterday, she just lost her mind, and she was saying things on television at the podium during the briefing that they only say in private when there's no mics and cameras on. And she's about ready to crack. She made a stunning admission. Listen to this. This is stop the presses kind of moment. Listen to this. This is Jin Sake.
The president wants to make fundamental change in our economy, and he feels coming out of the pandemic is exactly the time to do that.
Wow. Fundamental change to the economy. What does that mean? From a capitalist to a communist socialist system? It would seem so, based on the economic problems we're having. I remember on Inauguration Day, I went up there after the show to see President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I filled my car up. It was $1.59 a gallon. I went to Wawa today on the way in. It was way over $3 a gallon. I mean, it's like the price has gone up almost $2 since Inauguration Day. We see what they're doing with the bank accounts Yellen's talking about. We see the retail stores aren't going to have, the busiest time of the year for American retail is Christmas season. Liberals call it holiday season, Christmas season. And they've got ships from California to China. You could walk to China across the Pacific, hopping from cargo ship to freighter and everything else. The stores aren't going to have their merchandise for the busiest shopping season of the year, and they don't care. And Jin Sake slips and says this.
The president wants to make fundamental change in our economy, and he feels coming out of the pandemic is exactly the time to do that.
Never let a good crisis go away. Rahm Emanuel, Barack Obama's first chief of staff. We've got the crisis of COVID. This is the time to make it a socialist state. Oh my goodness, that was Saki at the press brief on TV. All right, if you're on hold, do not go anywhere. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of the topics I brought up today since 6. Brought up a lot of stuff. I'm not done. We got more. Steve Kane will be joining us. And those of you on hold, we will go to the calls after the top of the hour break. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.5. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. They have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big money. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
And making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week. And we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew, were very, very polite, and they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts. It's extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. Let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex stuff, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Call the show toll free. Dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1.
Yes. All right, and Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, call him. Talk to him about radiant barrier to lower your electric bill. It's hot as hell. I left the house yesterday, and I was like, boom, I got to go back in and put some shorts on. It's hot. So listen, no matter where you are in Florida, from the Panhandle to Key West, give Scott from Cut My Kilowatts a call about radiant barrier and lowering your electric bill. 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. All right, the third hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve.
Yes, I am here.
Oh, good. You've been off a couple days.
Exciting what's going on.
Yeah.
Are coming off. Just a couple basic things that I've said before, but I want to reinforce them. It's going to get worse before it gets better, and the worse it gets, the faster the changes will occur.
That's right.
Let any of this stuff depress you.
That's right.
Good as bad.
Well, you sound very good today, and I want to tell people Steve was not here yesterday, and it was my fault. I don't want to get into all the details, but Steve was having an issue, and I made a recommendation, and the recommendation put Steve asleep for 48 hours, Steve? What did I do?
Drugs.
not drugs. It was an over-the-counter medication.
It knocked me on my ass.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Everything is clear, and it's great to be alive.
No, I didn't give Steve the over-counter medication so I could do the show by myself yesterday, if you're wondering. Steve and I had a business meeting yesterday, and I don't want to tell people what was going on or anything. Not that it's scandalous, but it's it's none of your business. And I told Steve, I said, well, why don't you go to Walgreens and get this thing, which you did, which I was surprised. And then you were totally, asleep. And we had a business meeting yesterday, and you were, but you did fine, and he's here today. All right. There's only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. So you want to go to the call, Steve? All right. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I wanted to state that basically people are not realizing that everything's been halved. The military's been halved, the teaching half, the nursing's been halved, everything's been cut in half. And to me, I think people are not seeing the bigger picture.
Hold on, what do you mean? Tell me what you mean by that when you say everything's been cut in half.
Literally, either people have been fired or quit because of the.
Oh, right.
And so, I mean, nobody could have taken our military and split it in half, right? They did. They also took the teachers, and everybody's quit or got fired. When they took the nurses, everybody's quit or got fired. So think of how many people are basically either opting out or have been fired. And,
What you're saying is right on the money. That's exactly right. In other words, this is what I mean. There's life lessons to be learned here. Every day we are faced with choices. I'm talking now about the Biden administration. Every day we are faced with choices. You can make a good choice or a bad choice. Biden has made nothing. One thing you got to give Biden credit for is consistency. Every single choice he has made since the day he sat his butt in that seat in the Oval Office has been a bad choice. And he is now reaping the rewards of bad choices. When you make bad choices, bad things happen. This thing, he thought he was going to get everybody behind him with the COVID, but what he's doing is having the opposite effect. It's making people drop out of the workforce, not increasing employment. It's a vivid example of what's going on right now.
Yeah, you can't even in a regular hospital right now. Told to walk to the bathroom. You couldn't get your sheets changed for 3 days. This is just, people don't realize.
Well, there was a story. There was a story. It was first reported by CNBC, and the media, they obsess over numbers, but this one they're suppressing. 4.3 million people have quit their jobs, and quit.
Let me try to show you what's going on here. The objection on the COVID thing. The objection is not to the injection. The objection is to making it mandatory. So those who have not been injected are. That old Texas.
Yeah.
Putting their foot down, they're not going to let them go. That group is harder and harder for Biden to reach because it's a bunch of rebels.
Yeah.
And the worst, and to spread. That's what's happening now. The anger is starting to spread.
But people don't understand it. Every single industry in the
No, I think they understand, but there's certain industries where, like for example, this thing on Southwest is now spreading to American. Yeah. People are starting to feel it. Like I'll tell you, this airline thing cost me a lot of money this week. My daughter was in Los Angeles. She couldn't get back because of the Southwest thing, and we had to buy her a one-way ticket on another airline from L.A. at the last minute, which you know how much that could cost. And people are feeling it. And it's an interesting thing. The disruptions of Southwest are huge. Thousands of flights canceled. It's costing people inconvenience and money like it did me. And no one's complaining about the Southwest workers doing this. They have the support of the people, even though they've caused this inconvenience and financial burden.
We'll spread to other airlines.
Yeah, American's the big one too, Hey, listen, thanks for the call. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning, caller. You're on the radio. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. I realize that I just started listening to your program at 6 o'clock in the morning, so you passed the Ashli Babbitt business.
We can go back to it.
I wanted to mention one thing, if you don't mind, is that of the four policemen have committed suicide.
That's correct.
I've been investigated, and I'm wondering why they had to commit suicide, why they were so pressured anymore.
Well, it's an interesting thing about that, because these new documents have come out on the Ashli Babbitt shooting, and there's other officers that are named that witnessed it, and the names were redacted. There was one sergeant who that was there and saw it, said she was unarmed. There was another officer whose name was redacted who talked to him right after the shooting, and he was had all this regret. And I'm wondering if those names have been redacted because they're two of the ones that committed suicide. And there might be a connection to the Ashli Babbitt shooting to the suicides.
Well, I just hope that they will continue to investigate, and you guys keep this alive. These poor guys, that they put their lives on the line, and they just couldn't live with themselves.
That's probably it.
All right.
Hey, don't we have such a great crew of callers here, Steve? I mean, we've really raised the bar on we've got some really sharp callers. 1-888-GO Kane 1 is the number. Did you hear any of those Jen Psaki clips I played before you joined us?
Absolutely.
This one here I want to play. I want to play this one.
Unhappy lady.
It
looks like you use a great phrase that really captures things.
Breakdown.
It's like hostage video.
Yes. She's trying to get fired. She's trying to, please fire me. I can't do this anymore. Let me play, let me go through these, because, and if you're on hold, stand by. These are really good ones. This is, they're all short clips. This is all yesterday, Psaki.
Based on everything being announced today, and this administration guarantees that holiday packages will arrive on time.
We are not the Postal Service or UPS or FedEx. We cannot guarantee.
They are the post office, the federal government, aren't they? Did the post office go private, Steve? She says we're not the post. They are the post office.
Just got confused there.
She's having a breakdown. Okay, this is here she is. Here she is telling us why Joe Biden was elected.
To forge a path forward to unite the Democratic Party is what people have elected him to do.
Not unite the country, just the Democrats? He's the president.
How's he do? By the way, if he was elected to unite the Democratic Party, how's that going?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Go talk to AOC. Okay, here's another one. This is the best.
The president wants to make fundamental change in our economy, and he feels coming out of the pandemic is exactly the time to do that.
But it's a total state of chaos, and what a great time to take advantage of the American...
And turn us into a communist economy from a capitalist system. Don't let a good crisis go to waste. Unbelievable. Is she screwing up on purpose? Is she trying to get... Is she breakdown? What do you think?
It's hard for me to say. I almost feel bad for her because which she's got it tough.
Yeah.
Get up there every day after day after day and have to support these lies.
She's cracking.
Trying to sell. She's cracking.
Yeah, she's cracking.
The worse that's like I said, the worse it gets, the closer we get towards change.
Yeah. All right, listen, we'll take a break and be back.
Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and
Steve Kane Show.
We have been in the roofing
Hey Barry, hold on.
industry since
Steve Kane Show.
1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors.
Steve Kane Show, hold on.
Focusing on
Steve Kane Show.
residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and
Hold on.
building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, From regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standard seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Just, I haven't had enough water today. My mouth is dry.
You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with Attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Steve Kane here, and we have him. We have the man himself right here on the line, Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Good morning, Barry.
How's it going?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you doing, Steve and Brian?
Terrific. Very exciting.
Yeah, and I just heard the announcement on our Medicaid workshop. I know that one's getting filled up. I believe our Living Trust one is completely full.
Oh, my goodness. A week and a half out? Oh, my goodness.
These are, of course, for the ones coming up October 26th, Tuesday at the...
It's what we'd call, if we were in New York, a hot ticket.
Yeah, for free. Now, listen, Barry, but there's still some space left in the Medicaid planning workshop, right?
Yeah, there is space, limited space. I think we're, if you're interested, you really need to call in right away to make sure that you can get a reservation to attend. We'd love to have anyone who's interested. If this information can help you or your loved one protect their assets, we're happy to have you there and help give you that great. But the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, when we talk, a lot of times it's about Barry Siegel, but it's not a one-man show here. We have 12 caring people on our team who are incredible, who help give clients an incredible experience. Sometimes the planning that needs to be done can be a very stressful situation, something that people put off for a long time. And so it's really about the group, the Siegel Law Group, and our great team that we have. We have 4 attorneys overall, and a great team of paralegals and legal assistants and so on. So I just wanted to let everyone know it's not just Barry Siegel. We have an amazing team to help our clients.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you, I've met many listeners that are clients of Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group, and one thing each and every one of them tells me is that such a sense of relief, a weight taken off their shoulders, that everything is taken care of when they meet with the Siegel Law Group. Now listen, that Medicaid planning workshop is filling up. It's a free workshop. It's a week and a half away. Call the Siegel Law Group and reserve your spot. It's also free consultation. If you mention you heard about him on the radio show, you get a free consultation at the Siegel Law Group. And here's the number: 855-FLA-3782. That's 855-FLA-3782. Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. All right, Barry, have a great day, and we will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. We only have one opening on the board where Attorney Barry Siegel was at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. So let's go. You're on the radio. Good morning.
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
How are you?
Mike from Louisiana, you don't usually call this late. You usually call in the first hour, and I'm not going to play this now. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But you have been promoted to the level of caller, to the point where there are actually people calling and leaving voicemail messages for me and Steve imitating you. Callers imitating you. Yeah, pretty good imitation too, I must say. I'll play it for you maybe tomorrow. I don't have it queued up right now, but that means you've been elevated. You're a real chronic now.
Thank you. Now, a couple things. One, Jen, they say that being president ages you. Well, you look at Jen Psaki.
Oh yeah.
You know, you look at Biden and look at Biden. But you look at her. This job. They say she's 42 years old. Okay. But she don't look 42. She looks at least 10 years, maybe 15 years older now, because she's having to put out fires every single day.
You're right. The jowls are getting, she looks like she has that disease where the little kids look like they're 75 and 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, going back to what you said about using the Navy to help unload the ships.
Yeah.
The thing is you got to understand, not only have they cut the Navy, but he's a Biden's a Democrat, and generally speaking, Democrats hate the military. All right?
Wait a minute. On this thing, the suggestion about using the military.
The Navy.
This is where Navy is military.
Yep. We're talking about the longshoremen.
See, Biden is in bed with the unions, so he's got to think twice before he would make a move like that. The unions would not let him do it. They would put pressure on him not to do it. That works against the interests of the unions, and he's a union man.
That's right. He was praising the union at the end when he turned his back about Christmas. I want to thank the longshoremen local 1206 and and all this crap. What, that are screwing us?
I keep thinking of the final scene of On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando when they beat the crap out of him at the end. All about that's a great. Anybody that's never seen On the Waterfront's probably, arguably, the greatest American film ever made, and it really captures the thuggery of the unions.
Yeah.
And the unions, he fits right in with the union because the unions have been proven to be very corrupt.
Well, Greg, or Mike in Louisiana, the unions are the responsible for everything. The unions are why all the goods are being made in China and shipped here, and the union's responsible for not unloading the ships. So the whole crisis is a union problem. So Biden can wear his union label all day. He'll never criticize them. They're the greatest thing, even though they're stealing Christmas and screwing up everything.
Sure, and that's the thing. And as far as him and the military, think about this.
That's funny, broken mess. I'll tell that to
He was born 1942. He was a war baby. His number never came up. He never served in the military, so he's not tied to the military. He was graduate.
You know what? He's also Mr. Union Man. He's never even had a job. He's never had it. His first job was getting elected to something in Delaware, and then like 2 months later, he was a senator. Hey, Mike, take care. Steve, one of our listeners in the chat room, they had a pretty funny comment here. I didn't tell you that I've been having some blood pressure issues lately. Yeah. And don't worry, we got a new sponsor starting tomorrow. They can help me with that. But that's true. I'm talking about Janet Cimarelli. No, but this is the thing about the blood pressure. I realized it was part of it is I'm drinking too much coffee. So I've cut down my coffee in half a couple weeks ago, and this week I cut it back a quarter. And my blood pressure has really been acting up, especially during the last hour of the show. And I'm suffering from caffeine withdrawals because I've cut my coffee back so much. And one of our listeners, they said Steve sounds like he's been drinking the coffee that Brian is cutting back on today. I don't know these. No, I basically gave Steve an over-the-counter medication yesterday that makes you sleep, and Steve was sleeping for 2 days. Yeah, Dramamine. Yeah, take Dramamine.
They had to peel me off the ceiling.
Yeah, well, I did not know there was drowsy and non-drowsy Dramamine, but apparently there is, and you got the drowsy one.
It's nice to be back on the plane.
But aren't you well rested?
Yes.
Yeah. See, there you go. Exactly. I was right. Good morning, you're on the radio. I hear the phone moving. Good morning, you're on the air. Okay, that's the liberal response. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning. We're getting a string of them now, Steve. Good morning. Once. Yes, you're on the air.
There we go.
Yes, you're on the air. It's a female caller, I think.
Okay, and did you know August 30th?
Beltway
the
Rebel
Supreme
5000,
Court
thank you.
passed 8-0 that the Biden it should be decertified.
You got to get off the speaker. Oh, call back. Okay, get off the headset and call back. Okay. Good morning. You're on the air. Good morning. I can.
Speak up.
Okay. I got a question that's kind of off what you've been talking about. Watching.
Thank you. Thank you that I've lost weight. Thank you.
A dad that was arrested at a school board meeting.
Yeah, the cops beat him up.
You know, there's one thing that kind of jumped out at me. This happened a year ago, and if that was my daughter, I'd have been ready.
Well, let me tell people what happened, just to recap. I talked about this a lot yesterday. Okay, this was Loudoun County again, okay? Northern Virginia, where all the Washington bureaucrats live. This guy goes to a school board meeting, and the school board's pushing this non-gender bathroom. His daughter, his teenage high school daughter, was raped in the girls' room by a boy wearing a skirt that was allowed in, and the school covered it up, didn't arrest him or anything. He got arrested later after he assaulted another girl. He was trying to bring this up to the attention of the school board, but it didn't fit the narrative, and they wouldn't let... Yeah, and they would. So the cops beat the crap out of him. If you've seen the video, his face was battered, his lip was bleeding, his clothes were ripped, and he was sitting down on the floor handcuffed, bleeding in torn clothes. And it was a really bad scene. It really was awful.
So what's your point, sir?
Well, my point is, what they said was it happened like a year ago.
The rape.
And if that was my daughter or your daughter, I'll promise.
Well, look at what these liberals did to Harvey Weinstein. Where's the Me Too movement for this guy's daughter? I know they got a narrative about the boys in the dresses using the girls' room or something, but this one kid was a sexual predator who used that as a way to rape girls, and he did it twice. Not the school board. The school board are trying to protect the rapist in that case, Steve. Yeah. Now, I got to tell you, hormone replacement pellet therapy is it's life-changing, and I kind of compare it before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy to when I had LASIK vision correction. Like, I was legally blind, I couldn't see, but with LASIK I saw the world in a way I'd never seen it before. That's how it is with hormone replacement pellet therapy, and let me tell you what it is, okay? Hormone replacement pellet therapy, they're tiny little pellets about the size of a grain of rice before you add water to it. And this is for both men and women, and Dr. Matez inserts these pellets in your hip right under the skin, and it's completely painless. Dr. Matez is a maestro at that, and what they do is it's all natural, restores your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your mid-20s. And part of the reason we age is our hormone levels are reduced, and this restores those hormones. You get your energy back, you get your sex drive back. What are some of the other benefits, Steve? You know about hormone replacement pellet therapy. You basically introduced it with Dr. Matez to South Florida.
Do a lot with your sex drive.
Yeah.
It's the way I used to put it was, without the pellets, it's like looking at the world in and with the pellets, everything becomes technicolor.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's it.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so, and I talk about this a lot because it's amazing. I see and feel the difference it's made in me personally, but I have met so many listeners, both men and women, before at appearances, before and after they started hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez. The first time I see them, they're like Biden. Where's my mom? Is it Jello night, mommy? And then I'll see them again after they start hormone replacement pellet therapy. They're still, hello, they're like, you know what I mean? How you do? They shake hands with me. They break my hand. They're standing up tall. Their voices, are with confidence. And women, hormone replacement pellet therapy reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. Vaginal dryness gone and reversed. You can figure out what that means. And men, if you're suffering from sexual dysfunction, there you go, hormone replacement pellet therapy. So listen, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. Now, for Steve Kane listeners only, it is a completely free consultation. Non-Steve Kane Show listeners actually pay for that consultation. But as a Steve Kane listener, it's completely no charge. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. We'll be right back with your calls after this.
Weather, it's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show.
Who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week, and we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew were very,
oh, hey, Anita.
Polite, and they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts. It's extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex duct, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork.
No, hormone replacement pellet therapy. To me, I started it when I was 45, and I'm 50 now.
It pays for itself because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just like
all right, we're back. Steve Kane here. I'm Brian. Welcome. Let's take another call or two. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi. I took like reserves and history, but I come across these things. Obviously, the Supreme Court passed 8-0 the Biden nomination.
All right, live in fantasy land here. I've got this. Oh, I got some good news, Steve. I was saving it for you. This was did you see this story out of Virginia? Oh, this is I'm sorry, not out of Virginia. I'm sorry, Iowa. Did you see this? Oh, this is a good one. Republicans in the Iowa House won a special election Tuesday. Now you might think, oh, big deal, right? They claimed a seat that had been held by a Democrat in the state for decades, plural. John Dunwell, 55, a pastor and financial services representative, flipped Iowa House District 29 from blue to red after winning about 60% of the vote. The victory, which marks the second special election win for Republicans in recent weeks, gives the party a 60-40 majority in the state's House. So, this is one of those, what do they call this on the election? A bellwether. A bellwether. Yeah, the trend. And even though this is a state house, that's right, even though this is a state house, not the U.S. House, Iowa's that first big caucus state that's very important. And I bet you this guy's MAGA. It doesn't say in the article, but I bet anything he's MAGA. And Trump just had that big rally there a week and a half ago, which had thousands upon thousands of people turn out at the fairgrounds. And yesterday, there was a Washington Post columnist was on, I don't remember if it was CNN or MSNBC, it doesn't matter, but I'll pull up the story in a minute. But there was a Washington, here it is, it was CNN. Listen to this. CNN guest, Washington Post columnist, says Trump will get reelected in 2024. He said, sorry to ruin people's coffee, but we need to recognize reality. That was on CNN yesterday. Trump will be reelected. We need to realize reality. Yeah, I mean, they really screwed themselves with Pops here, as Hunter calls him, Joe. They really screwed themselves.
See how that gubernatorial race goes in Virginia. That's a big one.
Oh, I got something on that too. It's a soundbite. Okay, Terry McAuliffe. Now, people, you're hearing about Terry McAuliffe now. Terry McAuliffe, he was governor of Virginia before, but before that, he worked for he was the head of the DNC when Bill Clinton was president. He was in charge of the DNC money when Bill Clinton was president, which means he's a sleazy guy, And he seems to me, I got this clip, it's only about 20 seconds long, but he seems panicked to me. And he seems hysterical in this clip. He walks out of some building wearing a mask. There's nothing that shows masculinity in a leader more than that, right? And a guy starts to ask him a question, and Terry McAuliffe is terrified of the question, and starts getting aggressive with the guy about something. Let me play it for you. This is Terry McAuliffe, Democrat, running for governor of a state that's currently run by a Klansman, Virginia, yesterday.
You should be in control of education if not Virginia parents.
Okay, yeah, the guy's asking him about parent. Remember, Terry McAuliffe screwed up last week and said parents shouldn't have a say in their kids' education. Okay, so the guy's asking about that, and McAuliffe has a panic.
You should be in control of education if not Virginia parents.
Vaccinated yet? That's the question I want to know.
Okay, so the guy says to McAuliffe, should parents be in charge of their kids' education? McAuliffe points at him and says, are you vax? Kind of like in the remake of Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland when they point at you. He points at him, are you vaccinated? Are you vaccinated? Because he's trying to stop the question from being dealt with.
You should be in control of education if not Virginia parents.
Vaccinated yet? That's the question I want to know.
Who do you think should be in control of education if not Virginia parents? Governor, was it a mistake?
You're dangerous here.
He calls the guy dangerous because he's unmasked.
Was it a mistake?
You're dangerous here.
Closed last year.
I'll build education. That's why Fox News has me leaving. Letting your uncle destroy Virginia's education system. All right, let's get at it, buddy.
Okay, now that when he says "let's get at it, buddy," that's Terry McAuliffe talking to his driver, who has become basically a getaway driver because people are asking questions. I like what he says. The video. I hope they show the video on TV. Let me play the end again. He's talking to his driver, McAuliffe.
Virginia's education system. All right, let's get at it, buddy.
Let's get at it. We gotta get out of here. They're coming. The questions. Oh my gosh! And he said that before the door was even shut. Terry McAuliffe was so flustered he got into the front seat of the car, not the back of the chauffeur-driven car, and he told the guy to take off while his leg was still out of the door. He didn't even have his legs in. He's like, let's go. Let's get out of here. So I don't think Terry McAuliffe is feeling confident. Not behaving like that.
I mean, understand we could lose that race. I mean, that's a heavy Democratic district that they're fighting up.
Yes.
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 It's a long shot for us to win it.
Yes, that's true.
It would really be time for suicide time.
Yeah.
time for Democrats, but it's great. I look forward to it. When is that?
When's the election? I should know, but I don't know.
Election.
Yeah. No. The governors it's very strange in Virginia. Governors in Virginia only get one term, and then they can run again. Apparently, then there's an election. They should have had a special election like 2 years ago when the picture came out of the current governor in the Klansman outfit or the blackface. We don't know which. He was either in blackface or the Klansman outfit. They should have run him. He's still in office.
You need to know, which tells you what you need to know about Virginia.
Yeah, it's for lovers. That's what they say. Virginia's for lovers. Isn't that what the license plates say? And Klansman and blackface, apparently. But, that Klansman blackface Governor Northam, that story, could you imagine if there was a Republican when they were young in a Klansman outfit and blackface? That'd be it. That'd be it. And now I don't know. Now they don't even talk about that.
Slowly but surely.
Well, I must say though, you must take some excitement in the fact that someone older than you, Steve, went into space yesterday. The great William Shatner. Oh.
My point of view, Dave, we're in a business meeting, and he's like, Shatner's about to go into space.
Exactly. Steve's not kidding, and I couldn't get in.
Let's keep our priorities straight.
Well, I was worried about William Shatner. He's 90 years old. He went up on that Bezos rocket that looks like a penis, and I was really worried about him at the age of 90.
Look, I gotta give you. I'm not a big Shatner fan, as you know.
Well, I am.
But yes, exactly. But you gotta give him credit. At 90 years old, he looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, but I'll tell you, there were two things about it, and it was
It looks like he's been to Dr. Matez.
Oh yeah, Dr. Matez at the biostation. Absolutely. No one's a bigger fan of William Shatner than I am. And yesterday was first off, I said a prayer. It's almost time for the Gold Report. It'll be quick, Steve, I promise, okay? But I'm talking about Star Trek. I said a prayer for Shatner yesterday before the launch. I was really worried about him. And I went and watched it. When he came back to Earth, it was the saddest thing I've ever seen. They get off the spaceship, right? And everyone's family runs up to them and hugs them, the kids, the daughters, the wives. He was standing there by himself. I
read in the tabloids, see now I'm buying into this Star Trek thing, which I try not to do, that he's begging his ex-wife to come back to him. Have you heard that? I'm sure you in the pipeline.
Well, I thought they had gotten back together, but because I keep up to date on Shatner's life, but apparently that she wasn't there. And when he was standing there while everyone else was hugging their kids and and he was all by himself, and William Shatner standing there by himself. And then Bezos comes over, saw him alone, and Bezos started talking to him. And Shatner starts pouring his heart out to Bezos and says, it was blue and then it was black. And he started going into this, and Bezos walks away and gets a bottle of champagne and starts squirting it on everybody and just left Shatner. And Shatner's, it was so sad to see him by himself.
Your wife.
His first wife died of an accidental drowning in the pool.
No, let's not go into.
Okay, Noreen Shatner. And no, he was not. Well, the thing with Shatner, okay, his past wife, the one that died, Noreen Shatner, go listen to the 911 call on YouTube. It's pretty funny. He calls 911. William Shatner calls 911. Where is she now? And he says she's at the bottom of the pool. And they said, put the phone down and pull her out of the pool. And I was at a Star Trek convention with William Shatner after that, and he's taking questions, and we all love William Shatner, and I'm sucking up and everything. And this, if you want to see me suck up, get me around Shatner. And this guy gets up and asks a question. And Shatner calls on him, and there's like 5,000 of us in the room, and someone says, do you play golf with O.J. Simpson? And the room goes silent, and Shatner didn't say anything, and then he says, oh, I get it, I got it. And then he goes to another question. I couldn't believe it. Was crazy. crazy. Listen, we got to take a break. Luckily for Steve, because I'll talk about Star Trek all day. And we'll be back with the Gold Report, all right? Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's it, 888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. We'll be right back.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by any lab test now of Boca.
No, Shatner, he's Canadian. He's Canadian.
They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any lab test now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of...
Yeah, Jeff Bezos' wife was all over him, though, Event. Did you see that? Jeff Bezos' wife was all over Shatner. That was sad, though. He was just standing there by himself.
Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall.
Steve Kane Show.
Coral Springs. Call 954-906.
Steve Kane Show. Okay.
My name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing.
Did you guys notice, anybody else? You probably weren't watching, you know, but...
Impact windows and
Look at that, hold on. Did you guys notice that Shatner was there all by himself? Oh my gosh.
If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to
He probably got paid $50 million to do that he's going to give to his family. But nobody was there for him. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, what do you have to do? What could he have done that he's standing there by himself?
For a free home inspection,
you know?
An estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, this is going to be a big one today, the Gold Report. We have William Youngerman on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Hi.
Good. How the metals looking?
Metals are looking very good. Very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday we blew through a lot of resistance on the price of gold, getting through that $1,780 and all the way up to $1,800. We closed at $1,792.80. That was up $32.80. Silver was up 51 cents at $23.08 the ounce, while platinum was up $14 at $1,015, and palladium was up $69 at $2,058. Gold continues its rally this morning, breaking up through the $1,800 number, getting up as high as $1,802. With currently, it's trading around $1,800 at up $7.20. Silver up 37 cents at $23.45 the ounce. Platinum up another $15 at $1,030. And palladium up $66 at $2,124 an ounce. Oil up to $81.40 a barrel, and the U.S. dollar, of course, is lower than today. That's pretty much where if we close above $1,800 today, we could be off to the races to see much higher prices.
Oh man, now let me ask you. Now today, things are looking good. Everything's in the green. Someone who comes in today, is today a gold day? Is this a day to buy gold?
It almost doesn't make any difference. Gold and silver are both at great value. Still way undervalued at $23 for $23.45 an ounce. So silver's a great buy right now still.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So silver's a good buy today as well. That's all good stuff. Now listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. Give them a call at 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, and located right here in Boca Raton at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. And those of you that are out of town, William Youngerman, can you tell people out of town, here we are on this good time today, how they can order over the phone and you ship out to them?
Yes, indeed. You can just call us and lock in a price on your gold, silver, or platinum, whatever you're looking to buy. And you can send us a wire, and the metal will be shipped out within 24 hours.
Yeah, that's fully insured. All right, and of course, all the metals available for immediate delivery. All right, great day. We'll talk tomorrow and finish out the week, William Youngerman. All right, take care, take care. Oh, man, everything's in the green. Yeah, I know. You're big in the silver lately.
The silver's great.
Yeah, it is. I like the sound it makes when the coins go together myself. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? And Steve?
Good.
Yes, go ahead.
All right,
Steve Kane Show. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if I can't, if I don't get a hold of you by 10 till, we'll cover for you. Okay, good. Take care. I was on the phone talking to somebody a moment ago. I didn't hear anything you said. I have no idea what you're asking. Oh yeah, I have Amazon Prime. My wife doesn't leave the house. We do everything on Amazon. Yeah.
This might sound crazy to you, but I've had problems in the past. I'm not saying every time I order, but when like something comes messed up, or something's supposed to be there within a day or two, and it took like extra. If you mention this to them, hey, can you do something for my inconvenience? They have this thing called a courtesy coupon, which I don't know if you're aware of this, and they'll put it on your account. It's basically, it could be used to order anything.
Yeah, I know. I've done that. And they take returns. Yeah, exactly. All right. Hey, I appreciate it. But I'll tell you, Steve, I'm glad he mentioned the Amazon. You may not think that I would be glad that he brought up Amazon. But Amazon is going to be part of Biden's downfall, Steve. Well, you don't do anything on the internet, so, but Amazon Prime, most everybody orders things off of Amazon Prime, and it works out good for me because my wife can't get out and go shopping, so she does her shopping through Amazon, and with Amazon Prime, you get free delivery. That's why we do it. And, you also don't have to go out. But what happens is the way the economy works now, so many people have switched to that because of COVID. People order things online. They expect it the next day, 2 days at best. And with this backup in the supply chain that's about to collapse, if people have to wait 4 days for an item, they're going to start freaking out. And now people may not get their items at all, or it might take weeks. What would take a day or two is now going to take weeks and weeks and weeks because the warehouses are starting to run out of things. And that's Biden. We don't have time to do it today. I'll go through it again with you tomorrow. On yesterday's show, I went through some of Biden's disapprovals. Let me see if I can pull them up real quick. But people, it's like the airlines. Like the caller called earlier and said, "Oh, the hospitals and this." When people feel it, that's when they start to get pissed and turn. And when they don't get their packages delivered as they expect, they're going to start to turn on them. I don't know if I can pull up his disapproval rating, Steve, but right real quick here because we're right at the end of the show. But his disapprovals are. Let me pull them up here. Hold on, it's not working. It's the damn internet. But his disapprovals are the highest I have ever seen with a president at this point in their presidency. They were. Let me see. Let me try one more time. And it's not going to get better because he's
worse. The decisions were bad. All the results are bad.
Oh, I got him, Steve. Listen to this. This is a great. What the numbers I'm going to read to you are Biden's disapproval numbers. Disapproval. Okay. The YouGov poll, 51% disapproval. Quinnipiac, 53% disapproval. This is Biden's job rating. Trafalgar poll, 56% disapproval. Politico, which is left-wing as hell, Politico, 51% disapproval of Joe Biden. CNN, liberal as hell too, right? 50% disapproval. You can add 10 points to any liberal poll too, so you know what I mean? And finally, Rasmussen, 56% disapproval of Biden, and that Rasmussen 56 disapproval. That's a likely voter poll. The other, yeah, because he's a screw up. Yeah, now, I was talking about this before you got here. We got some new things to talk about at MyPillow. I just want to go through these. We got just enough time. You know, the supply chain issues you're hearing about will not be a problem for MyPillow because everything is made at Mike Lindell's factory right here in the USA in Minnesota. Okay, so no supply chain issues with MyPillow products. And there are some incredible specials I want to go through real quick because we don't have a lot of time left. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and using our promo code Kane, there are incredible deals that you can take advantage of. The sale of the year, Mike Lindell calls it, on the Giza Dream Sheets, 100% Giza cotton. I have these. You've heard me talk about them. They're amazing. Buy one set, get a second set free when you use the promo code Kane at checkout. Oh, let me do that one in a second. Let me go through two more, and then I'll get to the Bible pillows because these are amazing. The MyPillow My Slippers come in multiple colors and styles for men and women with the promo code Kane, 50% off. Kane at checkout. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, regular price $110 with our promo code $39.99. Now, last but not least, listen to this, Steve. The MyPillow Children's Bible Story pillows, right? It's a pillow with a Bible pillowcase. The cover is the front of each pillow, just beautiful artwork telling a story of the Bible. And on the back is written out the story that is on the front. And these are 50% off with the promo code Kane. The MyPillow Bible pillows, 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. And there's 5 of them, just $19.99. Okay, 50% off with the promo code Kane. The first tells the story of creation. The second one, Daniel in the lion's den. 3, the third one, Jonah and the whale. The fourth, Noah's Ark. And last but not least, the 5th MyPillow Bible Story pillow, the story of baby Jesus. And the artwork is spectacular. And you certainly would rather your child read the stories from the Bible on the back of this pillow than that new gay Superman comic book, I'm sure. And these are 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. Perfect Christmas gift for the kids and the grandkids. And you don't even have to be a Christian because the first 4 stories are from the Old Testament, right? So the Jews, the Jews do Noah's Ark, right, Steve? Okay, just want to make sure. No, I know. I'm just, but these are great, and the artwork is spectacular. All right, remember promo code Kane at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. All right, we're out of time, Steve. You got just enough time to say goodbye in 10 seconds.
All right, we thank you all for joining us. We will be back to wind. Is tomorrow?
It sure is.
To wind up, I thought so.
Unless I dope you up again.
To wind up the week tomorrow, and we hope you join us starting at 6 a.m. on behalf of our director, Tyler Kane, my partner, Brian Craig, and of course you know me, I'm just Steve. We'll see you soon. God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, that's it. Oh, man. Hey, guys, listen. Thanks for watching. If you're new, subscribe. And everybody, before you go, please like the video. When you like the video, that's what tells the famous YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to others that like this kind of content and agree with our way of thinking. That liking the videos helps so much, guys. It really does. That's what they go by. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Yeah, I was thinking about Rob because I was thinking about you over the weekend, Rob, because Rob is one of our guys. He's been on our cruises with his lovely wife, and he was telling me on the last cruise about those social scores and everything they do in China, and everything he told me that they do in China since our last cruise has come true in America about how they monitor us and control us. It's frightening. And it seemed like science fiction, and now it's like our reality. I mean, this is the scariest freaking time we have ever lived in, isn't it? I mean, my goodness, between having the January 6 people still locked up without due process, where's there, you know, and it's just, it never ends. It's a scary time. All right, guys, I got to take off, but again, make sure you like the video. I'll see you